And away we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in the Thursday afternoon edition of the Rob Brown Show. This is ESPN Upstate. Lonzo, it has been so long since I've had to work a full 5-day work week that I feel like we're not on E quite yet, but I'm inside of that quarter tank mark.
You know what? You'll I'm going to give you a 4-day work week next week.
My goodness. Are you sure about that?
We're going to do that for you.
Do you mind?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, what, Monday? Just going to come in on Monday?
Yeah, you don't need Monday.
All right, take Monday off. I'm good with that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is great to be back along with you. Hello, Upstate South Carolina. Hello, America. Hello, world. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. Phone line's going to be open all day. 844-GSP-ESPN. The preferred home services text line is 71307. The Twitter's open at The Rob Brown Show, at Lonzo One Word, at ESPN Upstate. We are live from the Ingalls Market Studio for 2 hours and 56 minutes of sports talk excellence. What? You got over there, Rick?
It's all right. Sorry, I made sure my mic wasn't on purpose.
It was.
I wanted to see if it would pick up on yours, and I believe it did. So there we go.
It did.
You had me ready to go there. Yeah.
We got to get right into it because I've got a lot of stuff we need to get to today. Obviously, we got to start looking at our NFL playoffs. We got Fight Club coming up at 2:20, which I have this week so that I don't forget it again. Made it very large and very bold right at the top of the show prep so that it, I don't.
He'll still forget till he hears the intro. So, but it's fine. We're ready to go. We're ready to make Rob mad this week.
Just because of that, I made it bigger on the show prep.
Good job.
NFL playoffs, college basketball. Got to start getting into college basketball. I'm struggling.
And you failed to mention that Snowmageddon's coming. And,
I feel like today's the need. Today's the day we got to have a prognostication that goes on.
No. Now tomorrow,
Tomorrow you'll let me know officially.
Tomorrow. And it will be just as accurate as a lot of the models that are out there.
No. You don't know. No.
Yeah, it would be just as accurate.
Either the knee works or it doesn't, man.
I'm
just guessing, and if it happens, give it credit to me.
Yeah, you know, we
drop
got
back through the snow into Greenville. I'd rather just stay here and enjoy it here for a day.
I get the fascination with the beach and the ocean. I will never get the fascination with snow.
You know what's funny?
It's cold. It's wet.
It's where you came from.
It's stupid.
It's because of where you came from. Like I grew up on the beach. I was on the beach for 33 years of my life. When people are like, yeah, we're going to do a whole weekend on the beach. I'm like, dude, one day's good, right? One day's good. But that's because that's what you got. For those of us that come from a place where it snows once a decade, and when we say it, we mean it, to have a snow day is fun. Go outside. I got a hill outside of my house. I'll get to sled.
Have you looked in your residence to see if you have something that you could use to sled?
Captain America shield.
Oh, that's right. You got that. But what's it made out of?
It's just plastic. It's just like a sled you'd pick up.
Do you have some Griswold spray around to take care of the,
What a reference.
You got to think about it a second, but you got there.
What a reference.
You can move with some of that stuff, I'm told.
Texter says, you saw the chemtrails and now it's cloudy. What do you know, Rob? You fed?
And then on my way into work today.
Oh, this is my favorite thing that's happened today.
That's all I saw.
Doing there, what?
We're a gut.
With Lonzo's knee tomorrow. The prognostication will happen tomorrow afternoon. I can't come up with more puns. I'm too focused on the snow now. Roll the lunch breakdown. Let's do this.
Let's do lunch.
This is a very nutritious lunch. All the food groups are represented.
You guys are here.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
The lunch breakdown of 3 things you have to know before you go start talking sports with your friends, family, coworker, or the dog. Whoever you spend your lunch break with, this will be the scuttlebutt around the lunch table this afternoon. Texter says, Pam on the bottom of the sled equals very fast. We'll see. If there is genuinely a foot of snow on Sunday, the Captain America shield may get greased up and taken for a ride down the hill. Item number lunch breakdown. NASCAR is outthinking itself just a little bit. NASCAR has new rules coming into this year, and with the new rules comes the newest next-gen car. And over the past couple of days, they have been trying out the next-gen car at different tracks around the country. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been stepping in as a prototype new-age car experimental driver for the past couple of days. Well, the rules for NASCAR's newest next-gen cars are designed to make the cars as symmetrical as possible. And, of course, in even experimental phase, prototype phase, testing phase, NASCAR teams are already trying to figure out ways around the rules to get cars to go as quickly as they can. Previously, teams were allowed to run asymmetrical cars designed to maximize speed on banked left-hand turns. But during this week's test session at Daytona International Speedway, some cars, with the new age car being designed to be perfectly symmetrical, have been running with what they call skew. What do I mean by skew? Well, the back tire, of course, when you have a car and the chassis underneath it, and I am not a mechanic, nor did I stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night. So if any of you guys out there are NASCAR or car experts who would like to weigh in on this, love to have your input on the show. It's your time to shine, mechanics. Skew basically creates a situation, and I showed Lonzo a video of a car earlier today that had a lot of skew on it, where the rear axle that connects the rear wheels to the main drive shaft down the middle of the car is not centered. So all 4 wheels are pointing in the same direction, but where the rear axle is connected is skewed off center. So it actually looks like, and because they are, the back tires are actually not in line directly with the front tires. And when the car is driving, it makes it look like the back end of the car, it makes it look like the car is turning because the car is actually angled to where it's not straight. All 4 tires are facing the right way. The car is going straight, but it makes it look like... Yeah, but that's because those cars are broken, not designed that way. If you're not watching on the stream at facebook.com/ESPN Upstate, if you join us on the stream at facebook.com/ESPN Upstate, I'm actually about to show you what I mean here. Here's a GIF that I just put up on the stream of what I mean by that car, and you can see what I'm talking about here if you're watching the stream. It looks like that car is turned to the right, but all 4 tires are actually going in the same direction the way this car is built. So anyway, that has not sat well with NASCAR in the last couple of days because NASCAR said it, quote, creates further deviation from the Cup car's real world counterparts and presents a competition advantage for teams running skew, end quote. First off, do any of you watch the Dodge Chargers running circuits in NASCAR and think, wow, I can buy one of those? No. NASCAR, you got to stop. You haven't raced stock cars since the late 1960s, all right? I can have all the money in the world. I can't go down to the Ford dealership and pick up a Mustang that is in any way, shape, or form comparable to what you're racing on Sundays around the calendar. Just stop. Now, it's kind of interesting that skew is making an appearance here to the point that it's making cars look like they're turning into walls because it's legal. It's legal. With the new rules, there are obviously things that teams are going to do to work around to give themselves an advantage, and there's no guarantee that teams are going to stop doing this. So now there is a push. There are really two pushes going on in NASCAR right now that I am very, very excited about. The first, neither one of them is going to happen, by the way. Let me phrase that. One of them will happen, but it's going to take a couple more years before it's accepted. The first is there's a push by a lot of fans to add more road tracks to the NASCAR circuit, right? More road races. Let's make them turn left and right. The second one, which I don't think is going to happen, but I actually love this idea. In order to keep the setups fair while the rules are so wide open, there are a lot of small dirt tracks around the country that do this, and I really like this idea. Lonzo, what they'll do is they'll bring the cars out to the track. They'll let you set the car up the way you want. They'll bring the car out to the oval track, but they will not tell you whether you are going to drive the track clockwise or counterclockwise until it's race time. So you don't know if you're making all left-hand turns or all right-hand turns. So you have two options. One, to set the car up symmetrically with no skew in it so that you're good to run left or right. Or two, to pick whether you want to skew so the car runs left or right and have a 50% chance that you're good to go. What the skew does, it makes the car easier to turn. It takes less steering input to make the car turn on a banked surface. So basically, they're easier to drive if you're skewed into the direction of the turn. So you'd have a 50% chance of picking the right direction and either making your driver's job much easier or much more difficult. Point is, NASCAR is making all these changes, and they don't really know which direction they're going in. And it's kind of a bummer. It's kind of a bummer. All right, we'll bring that back up later in the show. Item number 2 on the lunch breakdown. How about some good news for the Clemson Tiger men's football team? Less than a week after Vegas took my money because I'm stupid and took Alabama plus 3.5 in the national championship game, which, of course, Georgia ran the Tide out of the building. How about this, Lonzo? Odds are out already. You can get in already in Vegas for the 2022-23 college football national championship playoff field of 4. Lonzo, who are the top 4 teams, according to Vegas, likely to make it into the national championship playoff this year?
No. I was clearing my throat.
Oh, no. Do you have a guess, though? I was setting you up for 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I thought you were counting that as one because I didn't turn the mic on. Okay. All right. So, I have a guess for all 4.
Okay.
All right. Alabama.
Correct.
Ohio State.
Correct.
Clemson.
Correct.
And we'll go with Georgia.
Correct. 4 for 4. 4 for 4 is the great one. Clemson number 4 in the odds, consensus number 4 across the Vegas books, and the early predictions heading into the season. Alabama enters the season as the number 1 favorite in Vegas to make the playoff. Georgia is number 2. Ohio State is actually number 3, and the Clemson Tiger men's are number 4. The Tigers were number 2 when the 2021 season began last year. Of course, they lost to Georgia in the opening game, went 3-3 in the first FBS games and rallied to win their last 6, including a bowl game to finish 10-3. But here's what's also interesting. Top 10 Heisman Trophy candidates next year. This is nationwide, every position. DJ Uiagalelei is listed as 9th in the Heisman race for next year.
That is a little shocking after last season. Are we sure he's going to be the starting quarterback for Clemson?
I got a lot of Clemson fans telling me no. Telling me that Cade is stepping in to be the number 1 his first day on campus. I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, there's a lot of wishful things in there.
I think that's less a guarantee from the Clemson fans and more they're ready to move on from DJ.
I would guess that C.J. Stroud is probably number 1.
He is not.
He is not? Okay. Nope. He's got to be top 5.
Number 1 is the guy who won it this year, Bryce Young.
Oh, okay.
Bryce Young is number 1 and is lined up to be the first back-to-backer since Archie Griffin back in 74-75. Where'd Archie play football, Lonzo?
The Ohio State.
That is correct. Buckeyes quarterback C.J. Stroud, number 2 on the list. You want to know who's number 3 on the list, Lonzo? I'm really excited about this. Want to know who's number 3 on the list?
Yeah, I do, because I don't have a guess. I want to know.
Give me a wild one.
No, I don't.
Give me a wild one.
The running back for Ohio State. I forget his name.
Good guess. No, it is not.
I'm sorry, I forget his name, but I'm getting old and I forget a lot of names.
Story of my life. Number 3, as this texter has just so eloquently said, is Spencer Mother Blanking Rattler.
Are you
I
serious?
swear to you.
You're serious.
Yep. Number 1
So wait. So South Carolina has a chance
to win a Heisman.
to have a Heisman.
Yep.
You know what? In order for Spencer Rattler to win a Heisman, you'd have to win a good amount of games.
I'd say 9.
Yeah, and
9 minimum.
that means that in essence, if you put him on that list, you're projecting South Carolina to win a good amount of games.
Over-unders, probably a couple of weeks from Vegas putting out the over-unders because they want the transfer market to settle down just a little bit. Let the portal close up. Probably wait to see what the recruiting finishes up like in February for signing day. But as of right now, Bryce Young 1, CJ Stroud 2, and as this texter said, Spencer Mother Blanking Rattler is number 3 on the Heisman Trophy favorite list right now. How about that for South Carolina suddenly having a Heisman Trophy candidate on the roster?
Don't do this. Whoever made this list, don't do this. Don't put that excitement. Don't put that projection there. Don't put that possibility of a really good season, a season good enough to have a Heisman. Don't do that. Those are really high expectations. They haven't been there.
I would call it an expectation.
They haven't been there in a really long time.
I don't think anybody's expecting a Heisman.
Well,
I'd say 8 wins is an expectation.
This makes it sound that like people outside actually believe that Spencer Rattler is going to do something.
This is Vegas.
Right.
People who literally just fleeced America with their odds in the national championship game.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Fleeced us all. They know what they're doing. They're not dumb. So we'll see how it plays out. Behind Rattler and the Heisman odds, respectively, are Caleb Williams of Oklahoma, formerly of Oklahoma, Travion Henderson of Ohio State, your guy, Lonzo, Tyler Van Dyke of Miami.
I apologize to Travion.
I know he's listening right now.
I won't forget your name again.
Big
but
fan of the show.
There's snow in the back of my mind and it's clouding me.
Fair enough. Bajan Robinson of Texas after Uiagalelei is 9. JT Daniels of Georgia is 10th, followed by Will Anderson Jr. of Alabama, Jackson Smith and Jabe of Ohio State, Phil Jerkovich of Boston College, Blake Corum of Michigan, Hendon Hooker of Tennessee, and Quinn Ewers of Tejas. Lined up behind the top 4 teams in the playoff race, Michigan, Oklahoma, Brent Venables checking in 6th by Vegas to make the playoffs in his first year. Texas A&M, Southern Cal. How about this one? Don't love this, Lonzo. Inside the top 8 Vegas favorites to make the playoffs this year, the University of Florida.
I was going to say, don't say Florida.
Florida.
Don't say Florida. Somewhere someone just perked up.
And Oregon at number 10. So there we go. All right, item number 3 in the lunch breakdown. I carry over to the next segment because Matt Rule has got some things to say, ladies and gentlemen. And he's saying all the people who said that he must hire an offensive coordinator that's a rock star to keep his job, says, I ain't never heard that before. Got his quotes when we come back. I'm Rob, he's Lonzo. This is the Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate. The 2022 Upstate Golf Card is here, ladies and gentlemen. You like golf? I love golf. That's why I got 2 of these bad boys sitting on the desk right now to get out there in the spring, just a little bit, swing the sticks a bit. You get 10 rounds of golf, 18 full holes at 10 of the most prestigious golf courses around the Upstate, and you get it all for $99, homie, straight cash. You're not getting a better deal than that anywhere at all, I promise. You are going to get rounds at the club at Brookstone, Rolling Green Golf Club, Greer Golf Club, Legacy Pines Golf Club, Pebble Creek Country Club, the Preserve at Verde, Willow Creek Golf Club, the Rock Golf Club and Resort, Lakes of Tryon, and Carolina Springs Golf Club. A round at each for $99. But you got to go to upstategolfcard.com, upstategolfcard.com, and get yours today. It's the 2022 Upstate Golf Cart.
All right, I'm just going to pretend like this is just I moved the wrong way. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pretend like I moved the wrong way. See, here's the problem. When my knee was reconstructed, they cut all the nerves on one side. So I usually don't feel anything on the left side of my knee. It's like completely numb. When this happens, for some reason, I don't know if it's phantom pain or what it is, but I feel pain on the left side, which makes it intensifies it more because I usually don't feel anything there. And right now, we're just going with I moved my leg the wrong way. That's what we're doing. I haven't tried to walk yet, but still. I am the snow miser. I hate snow.
Okay. Per the Weather Channel, we're not getting out of the 20s on Sunday. Low to mid 20s. With now projected a 98% chance of snow on Sunday.
Yeah, I checked earlier, and in my area, it's at 100%. So, I mean, you know. I think you should go golfing Sunday in the snow.
I think no.
You ain't got none of them orange balls?
I actually do. All right, let's get the Carolina Panthers talk out of the way. Because y'all don't care about it. Y'all don't like it. Y'all ain't on board. But I got to do it. I got to do it. Y'all want Carolina Panthers talk? Tell me. Otherwise, I'm going to do one segment and get out of the way. Matt Rule has now gone on the record. Before the Panthers played their final game of the regular season, there were several reports that head coach Matt Rule would be back for a third season. However, there was one guy with a name behind him that said, whoa, hold up, wait a minute. That might not be the case. Jay Glazer of Fox Sports reported that Rule has to, quote, hire a rock star offensive coordinator for him to actually save his job, end quote. Well, apparently, earlier this AM on WFNZ Charlotte, Rule was asked if if it has been conveyed to him by David Tepper that he has to hire a rock star coordinator to keep his job. And Rule said, quote, I have never been told that my status depends on who I hire, end quote. Rule says he's spoken with Tepper several times since the end of the season and that those conversations have focused on the, quote, long-term vision, end quote, of getting better on the offensive line and finding the right quarterback. As for assistants, Rule said the message has been go out and hire a great staff, guys you believe in, and nothing else, which, of course, this could be complicated as you're not going to get a lot of big name prospects who are going to want to come coach for you when they know that you are standing on thin ice. And maybe this is why Matt Rule is trying to play this whole thing down just a little bit. They might be looking for jobs with a bit more security under a coach that has been and is established. That being said, Lonzo, Matt Rule comes out and directly contradicts what Jay Glazer says I have never been told that that is the case.
Remember what I said, I think it was yesterday, that that's kind of weird that they would say that. And because Matt Rule is probably thinking the same thing. Okay, what is a rock star offensive coordinator? And Matt Rule is a guy you can believe in. He's your buddy on the bowling team. You can see him with the bowling shirt. He's a guy who shows up every week and will give you a solid 180. So you know what? I believe Matt Rule. I think sometimes insiders, their sources say things and they say it in a way that when it's conveyed, it makes deniability an easy thing. It does. It absolutely. I just don't believe. You don't go say you need to hire a rock star offensive coordinator, and then the fact that rock star is in there, everyone goes with it in sports media because it's they just want to say rock star.
It's a cool phrase
because they're on talk radio and they're not spinning the hits on music and they can say rock star.
In fairness, of all the things I've been called in my face, the one that's flattering when somebody goes, "Ah, it's Rob, he's a rock star." I'm like, hell yeah, I am.
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
Hell yeah, I am. Radio talk show host, good friend, Rockstar with Wiggle.
With Wiggle. How come you sound like Vincent Kennedy McMahon when you said Rockstar?
You're fired. I do an okay, Vince. Just that one phrase, though.
The gravel comes in every once in a while.
Just that one.
Just
voice.
on certain things. I just have never believed it from the beginning about, and it's one side's telling the truth and one side's lying. In the end,
For the record.
whoever,
both sides could technically be right here, right? Tepper may have not put it out, but somebody in the organization may have put it out that David Tepper said to somebody else he needs to make a rock star hire or he's gone. But Tepper didn't tell that to Matt Rule, right? You're a manager, Lonzo. You ever done something before where you've said to yourself, I'm not going to tell him this, but if he doesn't do this aspect of the job, I'm going to have to step in and do something?
yes.
To see if the person will. And most of the time, it just works down to, like, do your job, right? Like,
I'm
not going to babysit you. I'm not going to check in every day to make sure you're doing that thing I asked. But in your head, you're going, if Johnny doesn't go do the thing I told him to do the last handful of months and he doesn't get it done without me telling him, I'm going to fire him. David Tepper may very well may have told somebody within the organization, if he doesn't hire a rock star, I'm going to fire him, and not told Matt Rule that just to see what Matt Rule does.
Here's the other thing. If Tepper only said it once to one person, now he knows who leaked it.
Also true. Listen,
because it's just not a phrase you hear very often about offensive coordinators. That's what I'm saying. It's just very, very.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. Sounds like politics.
And you could also plant something like that, say something like that, because you're trying to find out who the mole is in the organization.
It's very Game of Thrones.
Then suddenly it's used. You can go right to that person. Yep. Hey, I only said this to you.
Yep.
You're our leaker. By the way, you can leak yourself out the building. You're fired.
What was the I forget all their names because I have bleached the fact that I wasted my time on Game of Thrones.
Remember, I couldn't get past the incest, so I only made it past like episode 1 or 2 or something.
It was so good. It was so good until it wasn't. Varys.
Where were the dragons? Where were the dragons? You had to wait till what, like 8 seasons to
No, you had to wait season? Like 2 seasons. And it was
2 seasons. For that long.
They didn't promise you a daggum thing.
All I heard about was dragons.
There would be games and a throne, and there were. Anyway, Varys the spider, the master of whispers, set up a situation at one point where he told 3 different people who he suspected of being a mole, all very similar stories. But in all 3 stories, a different person was responsible for what actually happened, right? So these people looked around and they went, all these things he said were actually happening, so he must be telling me the truth. And then eventually it made its way back to him who the party he told them was, and so he knew exactly who the mole was. I don't know, maybe there's some, but here's the point. If all this is happening, if any of this is happening, and if anything except Jay Glazer made this up, which Jay Glazer has, to my knowledge, not been accused of making anything up yet or not been proven to have made something up. Although it's hard to misprove a lot. Unless Jay Glazer is just flat out making this up.
Sources is always it's an out. And sources are real for the most part, unless you're making up a source, and then technically it's a source because you're the source, but still sources is an easy out. Well, I guess my sources were misleading or my sources were wrong.
It's an easier out, but it compounds, right? Like if your sources are wrong and they're wrong and they're wrong and they're wrong and they're wrong, eventually, even at a Jay Glazer level, people are going to eventually start to go, well, I'm not listening to your sources anymore. I'm not listening to you.
Yeah,
but Jay Glazer doesn't have a history like that.
Yeah, someone in his position, one of those guys that drops knowledge and is an inside guy, if they're found out to be wrong a lot, they're no longer an inside guy. Yeah.
You know what the difference is between You know what the difference is between a guy like Jay Glazer and a guy like me, right? And I'm not saying I 100% know this, but
height for one thing, I believe.
Correct. Although Jay Glazer's an MMA guy.
I know.
He would realistically kick my.
I wasn't talking about you fighting. I was just saying you're taller than him.
Yes. So the difference between, and the reason that guys like Glazer and Shefty and Mort and Rappaport are the guys that you go to for this stuff is because they have, over the course of many years, built up contacts within the NFL that trust them to tell the stories they want told the way they want told without compromising themselves. And so they get more access. They get more truth. The flip side is true for guys like us, right? Like we have inside access. For instance, I got a huge interview coming up next Wednesday that we have for Greenville, Greenville. I have some incredible news about a community impact that's going to happen in the world of sports that I'm very excited to share with you. We're ironing out the details. That'll be next Wednesday. That's the kind of stuff we get to do on the local level. I can tell you right now, I have contacts in Charlotte. I have people who cover the Panthers in Charlotte, and I talk to them, and they give me their side of the story. But ordinarily, it's stuff that they're writing or are going to write very soon anyway, right? Guys like Glazer and them, they lose contacts if they lie about stuff like this, right? If they set this story up and they're not telling the truth, whatever contacts they have in the Carolina Panthers are going to go, whoa, Jay, can't talk to you anymore. Can't talk to you anymore. You got me burned. Can't talk to you anymore. That's why they are where they are. All right, a couple of texts that have come in. Texter says, this is the Rob Brown Rockstar Radio Show. Thank you very much. Appreciate the alliteration primarily. Texter said, Rob, if Rule was to be fired today, the Panthers would be the bottom of the list of job openings. That is correct. That's correct. Lonzo, what's the more attractive job right now? The Carolina Panthers or the Chicago Bears?
Chicago.
Correct. What's the more attractive job right now? The Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings?
I'm going to lean slightly towards Minnesota.
I am too. What's the more attractive job right now? The Carolina Panthers or the New York Giants?
Panthers.
No. Hard to disagree. Hard to disagree.
You can be successful with the Panthers. You can't with the Giants.
Yes, you absolutely can.
Not anymore.
You absolutely can. And with guys like Kadarius Toney and Saquon Barkley and even Daniel Jones, who gets a lot of hate he doesn't deserve.
All right. Carolina or Denver?
Denver. Especially because within the next 3 to 5 months, the Denver Broncos are going to have a new ownership group. There's 2 groups that are bidding on the Denver Broncos right now. One of them has John Elway in it. The other one has Peyton Manning in it. And there's no guarantee that the 2 of them won't form their own group and have John Elway and Peyton Manning. I will trust, because right now the Denver Broncos are run by a trust, right? The old owner died. The trust was left to the kids. The kids aren't running it. The trust is running it for the kids. The trust has decided to sell. The kids went to a judge and said, whoa, we should have first right of refusal to buy this back. The judge said, nope, your dad had first right of refusal, but he's dead, so he can't. So now it's up for sale. The rule of the NFL is that an ownership group can take effect, but there must be one person who puts up at least 30% of the total bid, which is going to work out to be about $1.2 billion. There are owners out there looking into that have put together investment groups. John Elway, Peyton Manning is in there. So That being said, I will take that ownership group over what I have with Carolina right
No way. No.
I mean, you would take the Panthers over the Denver Broncos.
Absolutely, without a doubt, without question.
Of all the wrong you said, that's the wrongest so far. You have been wrong on the show, so have I, but that is the wrongest I've heard anybody be on this show.
Who's the quarterback for Denver?
Andrew Luck. Who's quarterback for the
No. I would say he's been a bust. Come on. He's been an absolute bust. Denver's horrible.
Yeah, Teddy B one more year too. Teddy B H2O.
Yeah. Well, that's worked out real well.
Who would have been the quarterback this year if you had your choice? Teddy Bridgewater or Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold.
No.
Sam Darnold. I don't like choices, but if I had to choose between the two, I would pick Sam Darnold.
Between Monday, you telling me that Michael Jackson's a better singer than Freddie Mercury, and today you telling me you take the Broncos job over the Panthers job, I am stunned.
Freddie Mercury, one trick pony. Michael Jackson, very versatile, not just in singing, but in
all I asked was about singing
and dancing. And
I said singing, and you said
also the best, one of the best Super Bowl acts of all time. I mean, I can't believe that you it's all over that one song. That's what this is. It's all over that one. It's all,
I feel a lie. Ha, ha, ha. Wrong move to let Rule bring in. Chamon. Wrong move to let Rule bring in someone that he wants when the new coach will want to bring in his own guy, just prolonging the rebuild. That from the Canadian Panther fan and Greer. Yeah, I think you're spot on too. I think you got to make the move now, right? Because if Rule does anything worse than the playoffs next year, it's time anyway. And you're just kicking the can a further year down the road. I agree with you, Canadian Panther fan and Greer. Thanks for texting in. Let's take a break. When we come back, a story that I'm kind of interested in because I think it even further illustrates how right I am about the future of recruiting in college athletics. Share that with you when we come back. I'm Rob. He's Lonzo. This is ESPN Upstate.
Christine Lisi, breaking NBA news. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting the Hawks trading Cam Reddish, Solomon Hill, and a 2025 second-round pick to the Knicks in exchange for a 2022 first-rounder. Kevin Knox also heading to Atlanta in the deal. Trailblazers point guard Damian Lillard had surgery today to address a lingering abdominal injury. The surgery likely sidelines Lillard at least 6 to 8 weeks. His status will be reevaluated in 6 weeks. Blazers begin a 6-game road trip against the Nuggets tonight, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Streaking Grizzlies tonight go for their 11th straight win against the Timberwolves. For the first time since the lockout began 42 days ago, Major League Baseball and the Players Association are holding labor talks. MLB planning to make a new proposal to the union. A new CBA needed to be in place by early March for the 2022 season to start on time.
From the Ingles Market Studio, this is ESPN Upstate. 97.7 FM Greenville, 97.1 FM Spartanburg. ESPN Upstate.
An Odyssey station.
Do you really want to go through another year with that awful joint pain? Don't do it.
Here's what I think it comes down to, Josh. Okay, Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury both dead. If you had the chance to see one of them in concert today, which one would you go see? And I think the obvious choice is Michael Jackson. Oh, that hurt.
Don't let them keep giving you steroids, and don't let them tell you surgery is your only option. Get a free second opinion at QC Kinetics. Do it now and imagine life in 2022 without pain. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics at 864-448-4772. 864-448-3772. That's 864-448-3772. This feature sponsored by Pfizer. Come rain or shine, high winds or mild breezes, blue skies or gray, it's a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Restrictions may apply. Prices and cost of coverage may vary. Call protect my car for details. Look, none is safe for everyone right now. It's been a tough year, and you sure don't need to get hit with a big unexpected bill. Like, what if your car breaks down right now? How are you paying the bill? If it's your transmission, that's over $3,000. Your engine, up to $6,000. Even minor repairs like your air conditioning can hit your wallet hard. Here's the good news: if you have a car, truck, or SUV that's $19.99 or more,
It's definitely a generational question for sure. The question is, who's older, or who was older?
My sources tell me your sources are literally the worst.
Time to try to walk because it's getting worse. That pop thing.
Oh, it's snowing this weekend, boys. It's snowing this weekend. We're not going anywhere.
Maybe I tweaked it on the treadmill today. That's what it was.
Josh, you definitely cannot say Mike over. First off, if it was a generational question, Lonzo would say Freddie and I would say Michael. But it's not a generational question.
I would say
it is a fact that
you know
Freddie
what?
Mercury is a better singer, not entertainer, although I would argue entertainer, but a better singer than Michael Jackson.
I think they might be close to the same age, or would have been.
Right. But
Yeah.
Queen was bigger before Mike took over.
No, because of Jackson 5.
I said Michael Jackson, not the Jackson 5. I said Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and Michael Jackson was the lead singer of the Jackson 5.
Let's go out right now and ask people to name 5 Jackson 5 songs or 5 Michael Jackson songs. Which one are they doing?
ABC will be the first thing that pops
Give me
in
4
there.
more. I don't care if we're going back on air, Lonzo. You answer for this atrocity.
I can't remember the running back's name from Ohio State. Do you actually expect me to remember the name?
I said because Josh. So
Let's see. ABC Dancing Machine, I believe, was also a hit. Ben was a hit. I'm trying to think. See, I'm having to go back to the 70s, somewhere I don't want to go back to because I was forced to wear bell bottoms
and have
and
dance
dance
thrown at you by teachers.
and dance. No, that was 80s.
You wore bell bottoms?
Yes,
You were a
they're
disco
pictures.
guy? Lonzo was a disco guy.
Needed a partner, and yes, I could disco.
Lonzo's got the boogie, ladies and gentlemen. Got the boogie. Big Bee Gees guy over here.
I loved Bee Gees. They were one of my
I wasn't
favorite bands.
joking. It's on his
Yeah.
Spotify playlist. I hear it once a day.
Even after puberty, I could still hit most of those heights.
Can you do this? Can you do the hustle?
I can do this.
Do.
John Travolta did that in the movie.
Which one?
You know that
Which one?
he did that.
What movie?
In Saturday Night Fever.
There you go. I was worried about you for
See,
a second.
I can't remember.
Pull up clip number 2 for me, if you don't mind, Lonzo. So, after the Georgia Bulldogs won the national championship in football on Monday evening, a Division I basketball player went on Instagram Live and celebrated a little bit. This is a young man by the name of Flanders Fleming Jr. celebrating the Dogs national championship. is a young man by the name of Flanders Fleming Jr. And Flanders Fleming Jr., a Division I basketball player, plays for the Florida Gators. Ladies and gentlemen, I would argue Georgia's number one rival in the world of college sports. Winning the championship, Georgia brought to life every Florida Gators fan's worst fears. That Georgia got a title that they now have to hear dogs barking for 364 days. Flanders went on Instagram Live in a Georgia Bulldogs hoodie, live from the campus of Gainesville, Florida, where his team was getting prepped for a game a couple of days later, and celebrated. Now, Flanders Fleming Jr., Lonzo, is from Athens, Georgia. And he grew up a Bulldogs fan his whole life. Grew up a Bulldogs fan. And in growing up a Bulldogs fan, he, of course, was excited that his team won the title, but he now plays for the Gators, their biggest rival. Social media melted down around Mr. Fleming's post. And you heard at least one fan in that live stream say, hey, bro, transfer. Get out of Gainesville if you're a Georgia fan. We don't want you here. Transfer. And you heard him laugh it off. Said he's going to roll up and down university. Well, the next day he wrote an apology letter. He said, quote, to Gator Nation, I apologize for the uproar that my actions have caused. I grew up in Athens my entire life rooting for Georgia football, and last night was an overjoyed reaction to the ending of the game. I am very grateful for the opportunity that the University of Florida granted me, and I am totally committed to the Gators. Again, I am deeply sorry to the fans, the school, and the athletic department for any disrespect that my words or celebration have caused.
You know, I know how this is going to come across, but we listened to what he just said, and then we listened to that statement.
You said he didn't write that?
I'll just say he wrote that. Maybe the coaching staff. Maybe. Possibly.
Maybe. Or maybe some people, me, talk a lot different than they write. You guys have read the articles I posted on the website. It's a different tone than I use when I'm speaking on the radio. Okay?
It's because you were studying journalism and
correct.
Stuff, so, I mean, there's that.
Either way, regardless of who wrote it, it came from his accounts. He apologized for it. All right. Here's the thing. It's illustrating a point that I have made to you a number of times. It is this. Recruiting is now a national game. Kids are coming to your school not because they're a fan of your school. They're coming to your school to use your school to play ball at the school, to enact their trade at the school for whatever reciprocation they decide they want out of it. Whether it's a degree, whether it's 2 years and on to the league, whether it's just to go have fun and play basketball, whatever the case is, they are not fans of your school. There are still going to be kids who I grew up a Florida fan and that's where I'm going to school and I won't go nowhere else. Sure. But this kid grew up a Georgia Bulldogs fan. Florida offered him, for whatever reason, what he considered to be the best opportunity for him, and he took it. This is what I mean by this. You no longer get to look around and go, I need to recruit kids here who are fans of the school. Now, you have to recruit the best players you can get, and you need to have the school bend over backwards so that they become fans of the school once they're there, right? And that's going to happen in any job. I've told you guys. Man, I hate an Atlanta Falcon. I hate a Falcon. Can't stand an Atlanta Falcon. But Lonzo, if they call me tomorrow and go, hey, our play-by-play guy's retiring, we'd like you to come over and try out to be the play-by-play guy for the Atlanta Falcons. Jack, I'd have on red and black today, son. Today, I'd put on red and black to take that job. Because sometimes it's about what the opportunity is, not what your fandom says, right? And if coaches don't understand that, fans are never going to like it. I don't care how good the kid is. If he shows up and he's wearing red and black and barking like a dog on the campus in Gainesville, the fans are going to hate it. And that's cool. But fans, you get to realize if there's another Georgia kid down the pipe who's a 5-star interested in your school, and he looks back and he sees y'all banging up on Flanders Fleming Jr., he might not go there, and you might lose out on some talent. Welcome to the new age of college sports, friends. Back after this on the Rob Brown Show with ESPN Upstate. Harley Davidson of Greenville. Once you set up, not just on a Harley Davidson, and trust me, they've got the one you're looking for. Whether you're looking for a little cafe cruiser to roll around downtown, save some gas. Maybe you're looking for a big hog because you want to go on those long rides. Maybe you're looking for a touring bike. You want to ride it up and down the mountains from the Blue Ridge up into the Appalachians. They got the bike of your dreams in there, and they can customize it exactly how you want it with the color, the paint scheme, the finish, the bells, the whistles, the gadgets, the gizmos. They'll get you all hooked up and all set up. But after that, Harley is going to take care of you like no other dealership. You're not going to get that once a year. Happy birthday. Come in for 10% off maintenance. No. You can stop by HD of Greenville whenever you want for whatever you need, whether it's to get outfitted from helmet down to toes, whether it's to get the gear that you want to put on your bike to give you the best Harley Davidson experience you can get, or maybe you just want to learn where to ride, when to ride there, and how to ride it. They are going to hook you up from start to finish. If you want to see what I mean, go by and see the Harley Davidson difference. Go to Harley Davidson of Greenville at 30 Crum Drive, or check them out online. You can see the entire inventory, everything they got right there at upstateharley.com. Upstateharley.com. It's our friends at Harley Davidson of Greenville.
Chance for rain early, cloudy and low near 34. By Friday, sunshine, high 54. Saturday, slight chance for rain, high 46.
I'm resisting the temptation to go PC on someone for saying something just even though I don't care on Twitter.
On Twitter?
Yes.
Is it me?
No. There's a response from someone that works at this station that is very, I don't want to say chauvinistic, but it could be, in this day and age, you can't say
Responding
things
to
like
what? I don't know who it is.
Well, we're on stream, so I'm not going to say it.
I know that. Okay,
What?
fine.
I don't care if this is on stream. So many times, the things I don't say would be so much fun. And my knee's about to fall off. I'm just telling you, this is about when you see me do this every once in a while, it's not because of what Rob's saying, it's because it hurts.
Technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Hey, our lives were just sent to us.
For Monday?
Yeah. That was me, hinting that.
Yeah, to get them done. Yeah.
It is only Thursday, so you could do it tomorrow.
ZipRecruiter.com/free. This report is sponsored by Freedom Plasma. Did you know blood plasma collected by Freedom Plasma is used for several life-saving therapies? And did you know you could earn hundreds of dollars safely donating yours? Go to freedomplasma.com or call 864-377-8115. Start earning cash and saving lives.
Dispensing real,
Wrapping up hour number 2. Got something a little special for you coming up. Or wrapping up hour number 1. Something special coming up for you in hour number 2. How about this, Zoe? Coming up at 1:20. We do our Swamp Rabbit segment coming up at 1:20. Today, you know who we're getting joined by? NASCAR driver Corey LaJoie will be joining us here on the Rob Brown Show today. Corey, who has been racing the last few years on the big boys circuit, is the one who's been driving the number 77 Spire Motorsports car that has been repping the Swamp Rabbits logo on it. In fact, last year, when I went up to the race in Charlotte, he was driving the Swamp Rabbits. I had a really dope picture of that car with the Swamp Rabbits logo on it. Pretty rad. Corey LaJoie, driver of the 77 Spire Motorsports car, going to join us at 1:20 in the next hour. I got plenty of stuff to get into, some NBA takes as well. Big trade happening right now in the NBA, and the Nets trio last night, Kyrie, KD, and James Harden were all together on the floor, and they absolutely waxed the Eastern Conference leading Chicago Bulls. Is it over for the rest of the league now that those three are together? All that more coming up in hour number 2 of the Rob Brown Show. This is ESPN Upstate.
I haven't heard the song that far to actually hear that little guitar in there. That was nice. That was really nice. Are we no Rashad? Is that?
He texted me earlier and said that he wasn't feeling well. He was going to see if David could do it, but I haven't heard back from either one of them.
Okay.
So if they call, great. If not, we'll do something else.
Hey, now you're a rock star.
Clemson basketball, they lose to Notre Dame on Wednesday by a 72-56 score. They'll get back at it coming up on Saturday when they're set to play host to Boston College. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts so you never miss a thing. It's why the Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. With your ESPN Upstate Sports Center update, I'm Matt Pauley.
Have you heard of Signs with Mark Wright?
Nope.
Talking about Offsides with Mark Wright.
I'll probably watch it eventually, Josh. I'm just in the middle of watching a bunch of other stuff. So watch like 5 episodes of Witcher and got some other things. And Peacemaker comes out today. So
First person I have said with that take. First person.
yeah,
Mostly I've heard,
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. And if you watch it, you're going to compare it to Spider-Man because that's the last superhero movie you watched.
So it turns out I'm the dumb. I said he drives the 77. He drives the 7 of Spire Motorsports. Corey LaJoy coming up here in about 17 minutes.
You could have said, sorry, I stuttered. I mean, you know, you could have, because it happens on occasion, you know?
Corey LaJoy joining us in the next segment. Very excited about that. Talk to him. The Swamp Rabbits Saturday evening. It is racing night at the Well, a celebration of Spire Motorsports and all things NASCAR, combined with NASCAR and hockey. How bad could your life be? We'll talk to Corey LaJoy about that coming up here in just a few minutes. 844-GSP-ESPN, 844-477-3776. Ordinarily, this is where we would be joined by Rashad Beard of the Panther Nation podcast. Rashad, a little bit under the weather today, unfortunately, so had to take a day off. He'll rejoin us next week on the show, and looking forward to that. But we gave him the day. I gave him the day off because I'm a kind, benevolent guy. You know what I mean? That's what we're here for.
Benevolent. That's yeah.
Good.
No,
good.
Dude, I know what it means. Okay.
You said that like you were like benevolent.
No, I was considering if you were such, and then I had settled on yes.
Compared to other entities,
I had settled on yes.
Oh, thank you. So kind of. Did that eye roll hurt you a little bit? So we talked Panthers earlier in the show. We normally bring it back up here with Rashad, but we got the one text that said what it needed to say about the Panthers, and I think we're good with that now. Text said, will the Swamp Rabbits cancel their games? I just got off the phone with Mark Shelley, the voice of the Swamp Rabbits, during our last break. I asked him about it, and he said the statement from the Swamp Rabbits as of right now is we're playing. So we will, I'll keep you up to date with that and everything else going on this weekend. If indeed, as Lonzo's knee is telling us, snowpocalypse does happen this weekend, then we will, we'll update you on the sports plans around the area. But right now, the statement from the Rabbits is they will play. They will play. So we'll keep you up to date on that as we go through. All right, I wanted to go through this real quick because I found this kind of interesting. I was reading through the Miami Dolphins situation last couple days, and this is not a Dolphin segment. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Get your hand off that button, listener. I see you. Take the hand off the button. So, Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, fired Brian Flores and kept general manager Chris Grier. And there's a lot of people asking, and I think very fairly, the question, and I know, Lonzo, that this is a hard question to ask because there's it's very pointed, it's very direct, but the question that a lot of Dolphins fans have right now for Stephen Ross, the owner, is why?
It's a difficult question to ask, and it probably took him a while to come up with that, but it's a very, very good question.
Why?
Because this team had lost like their last 5 or 6 games, right?
This team
won 8
won
1, yeah.
Lost 7, won 7, lost 1, won 1, lost 1, I think was how it played out. Either way, yeah, they were bumped from the playoffs, but they also had a 7-game win streak. They also had a direct impact on what happened in the AFC East down to the last weekend because, they beat the Patriots twice, a playoff team, beat them twice this year. Why'd they fire him? So I started looking down through that situation because I got a bunch of, obviously being from Florida, I got a bunch of Miami Dolphins fans that are friends. And a lot of them have asked me, Rob, what are we doing? What are we doing? And the answer I had when they asked me the question why was, IDK. You got me, pal. Couldn't tell you. So I decided to look into this just a little bit. And I started reading through some different articles and stories that had come out over the past couple of years since Brian Flores was in town to try to figure out WTF, bro, as the kids say. And here's what I got. You know what I found really, really interesting? What I found really, really interesting is that the statement from Stephen Ross announcing that he had fired Brian Flores was, Lonzo, the first public statement that I could find from Stephen Ross since they hired Brian Flores. I did not find in articles anywhere during Brian Flores' tenure as the head coach of the Dolphins, I did not find anywhere another public statement from Stephen Ross. And I found that really interesting because, like, if you go looking through local papers, local radio stations, local TV news updates, whatever, most of the places that you would go, you will see or hear from the owners, right? You go to Jerry Jones has got his own damn radio show in Arlington. You're going to see quotes from Tepper in the news in Charlotte. Gail Benson down in New Orleans. She's all over the place. Arthur Blank standing on the sideline at every game. You don't really hear, you never really heard anything from Stephen Ross. And I found that very, very interesting. And then I dug a little deeper, Lonzo, and I found out Stephen Ross does not live or work in South Florida, like, at all. Stephen Ross.
Well, this is because of COVID concerns, right?
No, he never has. He never has. Stephen Ross does not live or work in or around or near Miami. The $7.6 billion man and owner of the Miami Dolphins, who is known for being a real estate developer over the years, does not live anywhere near. In fact, he spends the majority of his time in New York City. Now, this is not Rob going, them damn Yankees ruining everything, because Miami is effectively the New York of the South, all right? Basically, when you cross the I-10, I-75 cutout, everything south of that in Florida is the north, all right?
So my people are like northern Florida, and then everybody else. Ohio, Michigan people, they moved to, or is it further south?
No, Ohio, Michigan people, because you guys got a little redneck in you. Y'all moved to the Redneck Riviera up in my neck of the woods. But the folks from New York and LA and the what do y'all call them? The elitist cities. They all moved down to Miami.
Well, that looked painful when you did that.
Because I hate how y'all say that.
I don't know who y'all is, but that's fine.
Yeah, you do. All right. So they all moved down south to Miami. So he doesn't live in South Florida.
That's the 1%er.
He doesn't work. The haughty intellectual. He doesn't work in Miami. While his team is putting their game day plans together, he is nowhere near them.
Is that really necessary, though? I mean, I get it if you're a politician, and I don't know why we would talk politics. If you're a politician, you probably should live in the area where you know what your constituents want. But if you own a company, there are millionaires, billionaires that own companies in several different states and maybe even countries. They don't have to live there, do they?
I mean, have to? No. Is it a good idea to? Kind of. Like if you're going to put stock into owning a team, right? Like if you're going to put stock into owning a team.
If I own a team, I'm Baker Mayfield. I'm living in the stadium.
So, this is fun. How about this? My minor league baseball team back in Pensacola, Lonzo. My minor league baseball team back in Pensacola, the Blue Wahoos. You can rent their stadium on Airbnb. Like the whole stadium. So you can actually go stay. You can actually go stay in the baseball stadium, take BP, live out of the locker room, et cetera, et cetera.
You've been in the locker room, I'm guessing. So is it
covering the team.
Is it fairly cleanly? I mean,
it's
okay.
super cool.
All right.
They got TVs on every wall. They got the Xboxes set up in there. It's cool. Me and a bunch of my buddies are going to do it one day. Rent the whole stadium.
Oh, you absolutely should do that.
All right, let me finish the story because we got Corey LaJoy coming up in the next segment. Oh, God, it's 1:12. I'm good. We're good. We're on time. Just look at us.
We haven't went to break yet, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right, so Ross wants to be very hands-on with the team. But my thing would be, you know what, Lonzo, it's cool if you don't want to live in, around, near the team. I get that. That's awesome. But I would say be hands-off, right? Because you don't know what the day-to-day is there. Even if you got the dude, right? You got the enforcer down in the facility You still don't know what the day-to-day is because I suspect Stephen Ross, billionaire real estate investor, is not calling down to Brian Flores every day and going, hey, coach, how was practice? Can you send me some tape? Right? So that is something I think is a big problem. So Yahoo Sports did a deep dive on this as well. Actually, I'm sorry, Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, did a deep dive on this as well. First off, he said that Stephen Ross was really upset that the team didn't land Deshaun Watson despite the best efforts of Ross and company. Stephen Ross wanted Deshaun Watson, and Flores said, I don't want the distraction, which I think is fair, right? I think it's fair. Now, you can risk rewarded about distraction versus performance on the field. But Brian Flores said, I don't want the distraction. I don't want Deshaun Watson down here right now. So they ended up saying there. Well, Stephen Ross, who was the guy that kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going after Deshaun Watson while Brian Flores was trying to get Greer to shut it down. Who did this impact the most? Tua Tagovailoa. And why wouldn't it, right? You just brought me here. You just brought me here to be the guy. And now you're telling me that you're trying to put me to the back burner to go get the other guy? So Tua wasn't happy about it. Declined an opportunity to be a team captain for 2021, did Tua, because he thought it would have been embarrassing to be the team captain, have Deshaun Watson show up, lose the starting job and the captaincy, and not have a chance to regain it anytime soon. So the trade line deadline comes and goes. It's put away. Tua starts playing better. The Dolphins start winning games. Guys, I got news for you. That's on Stephen Ross. Because if Ross would have shut the hell up about Deshaun Watson, Tua Tagovailoa could have stayed focused on playing football. Brian Flores wouldn't have had to be dealing with the drama every week of, are you getting Deshaun? 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 And they could have focused on football. And then what happened when the trade deadline passed, they didn't get Deshaun and they were able to get their nose down to the grind zone? No big deal. They won 7 freaking games in a row and beat the Patriots twice. Shocking. Apparently, Stephen Ross decided that the tank for Tua, remember the old tank for Tua campaign that we all kind of LOL'd about, but then the Dolphins actually did it? They tanked for Tua. Stephen Ross ultimately said, you know what? We're actually going to tank for Joe Burrow. I want Joey B down here. Brian Flores, because he was not getting told directly and did not know what was directly going on, Brian Flores said, no, we're going to go win games. We're not tanking for Joe Burrow. We got our guy. We're going to get to it. We're going to go with it. So they fought off. Brian Flores, after taking a few ugly losses at the beginning of his tenure, started to get in that team clicking, defied the tanking strategy that year. They won a handful of games, bumped them down in the draft order. Stephen Ross was furious that the Dolphins did not get the top pick and could not get Joe Burrow. And was all downhill after that. Now, had they got Burrow, they're probably in the playoffs right now, like Cincinnati is, right? They probably are with the talent they got and Joe Burrow. Because honestly, I don't know if Tua is a long-term guy. I don't know if I believe in Tua Tagovailoa as a playoff quarterback. But Brian Flores said, screw tanking back-to-back. We just got a quarterback. Let's go out here and see what happens. This is what happens when your owner is disconnected from reality, disconnected from your team. This is what happens when your owner decides, I'm the smartest guy in the room and I'm not listening to anybody else. Now, he's right about Joe Burrow, right? But he also wanted to tank for Tua.
All right, so
that's on you.
So the thing that's bothering me about this story more than anything is, from what I'm gathering, is the owner wanted them to lose. So the owner told the coach to lose. So this whole tanking, so there is a way to lose on purpose in the NFL.
Yeah, you just don't try, I guess.
Do you go tell the core? Well, I mean, I guess you could just call bad plays, but NFL guys are still NFL guys.
Yeah, I've never believed that teams actually try to tank. And I think that's part of the problem, right? Because these owners decide in their heads, like, oh, this is what we're going to do. And the rest of the NFL's like, nah, it doesn't work that way, dude. That's not how we do it in the locker room. But because of the fact that you're up there sitting in a high-rise condo in New York and never in Miami, actually, hanging out with us, talking to the team, trying to figure out what the hell we were trying to do down here, you're disconnected.
If the coach tells me to play bad, put me on the bench, because me playing well gets me a job somewhere where they want to win. So I'm not going to go out and dog it just because you want me to. And I think the majority of NFL players, they work so hard to get there, they're not going to go out there and play bad on purpose.
All right, let's take a break, because coming up here in just a couple of minutes, we are going to be joined by NASCAR driver Corey LaJoie. He drives the number 7 for Spire Motorsports, and he will be here in Greenville on Saturday at the Greenville Swamp Rabbits game. We'll talk to Corey LaJoie next on the Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate. He's going to be calling us.
I figured.
I don't know who Fueled by Wrestling is, but you are welcome here, friend. You are welcome here.
Yeah, because we are also fueled by wrestling.
Correct. Like a solid amount of our content is.
Matter of fact, there's going to be a ton of that content coming up at 2:20.
Clemson basketball, they lose to Notre Dame on Wednesday by a 72-56 score. They'll be back at it coming up on Saturday when they are set to play Boston College. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. It's why the Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. With your ESPN Upstate Sports Center update, I'm Matt Pauley.
ESPN Upstate is your home for Furman Paladins men's basketball. Every play, every game on ESPN Upstate. 97.7 FM Greenville, 97.1 FM Spartanburg. On your computer, smart speaker, and phone on the Odyssey app.
I'm Michael Jenkins, helping you beat the books with BetQL. The Minnesota Timberwolves are in Memphis tonight to take on the hottest team in the world right now. The Grizzlies have won 10 straight, and they've been 9-1 against the number. Now, you say, hasn't Minnesota won 4 of their last 5 games? Sure, but they haven't beaten a team with a winning record in 4 weeks. And you ask, what about Minnesota?
Made a mistake, and I just put on a regular undershirt under my hoodie. I can't ditch the hoodie.
Rob Brown Show.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts
Hey,
on to keep things
we
together.
have
No matter
about a
what,
minute and a half left in this break, and then Rob will be right with you. All right, hang on.
Jules in Minneapolis and Stan in Central Indiana.
Wow.
Taking control of everything that's under your control. At Granger, we're here for you with experienced brands.
All right, we're back.
Because I'm your people, whether you want me to be or not.
Be sure, be accurate with Exogen. Learn more at exogen.com.
I hope you watched a certain match from last night.
I've only gotten which one?
CM Punk and
Yes.
okay, good.
Yes. And that turn from Wardlow on MJF is going to be a mirror. He's going to powerbomb him 12 times.
A good portion of Fight Club is going to be devoted to that.
And we finally got to see.
And I will slam it the way a lot of people on the internet are, but we'll see if you defend your boy.
Oh, I absolutely will.
I hate giving it away, but I want you to be prepared.
You need to prepare me for that. I'm ready.
And it might be foreshadowing or teasing to the people on stream, possibly. I could be doing that.
Right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
For Upstate Sports Junkies.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Rob Brown Show is back on your radio. This is ESPN Upstate. Thanks for hanging out with us. To the phone lines we go, and I am very excited to welcome in our next guest. He drives the number 7 for Spire Motorsports on the NASCAR circuit. He will be joining us at the Greenville Swamp Rabbits game this Saturday evening as the Swamp Rabbits present Racing Night, two of my favorite things, racing and hockey, all in one night. And we will be joined by Mr. Corey LaJoie here on the Rob Brown Show and in the game on Saturday. Corey, thanks for taking a minute, man. Great to have you, big dog.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. First and foremost, man, I got to tell you, I know obviously the cars you guys drive, they're covered in sponsorships, but for those of us in Greenville, in the races that we have gotten to see Spire put the Greenville Swamp Rabbits logo on the front of that car. I saw it up in Charlotte a couple of months ago when I was at that race, and what a fun race on the Roval. It's very cool for us to see that Greenville Swamp Rabbits logo repped on the front of a NASCAR stock car running in the big races. For you as the driver, what does it mean when you get to run a car with a local team logo like that, knowing that the folks in that community really feel represented on a NASCAR track?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can just rally the community around something else, and whether it's putting our sport in front of the hockey fans or the hockey fans in front of, our sport, just to try to co-brand that a little bit, certainly with under the Spire banner that the Swamp Rabbits and our motorsports team are. We try to, try to continue to build both programs, right? So it'll be my first Swamp Rabbits game here this Saturday that I'm pumped up for. But I've always, even before this, told fans that I think that the two sports that had the biggest difference between being there in person versus watching it on TV are hockey and motorsports. So it's pretty cool. We get to merge both of them here on Saturday night, and hopefully everybody can come check it out.
Dude, I love that you said that because I have had that theory for a while, right? Like, obviously, with hockey here, and in Greenville, we're really lucky because we're an hour and 45 away from Atlanta, where there's a couple of races a year. We've got Charlotte right up the road. We've got the Roval right down the road. We've got Darlington right down the road. We're within, I think, 5 hours of 6 different NASCAR tracks. And I've told friends of mine that maybe aren't really into the sport, if you come with me to a race and you get to actually experience what it's like at a track, it is so much different on TV. And obviously for fans, TV presentations are great so we can watch every race. But hockey and NASCAR are both very similar in that the fan experience is so much different. When you're there in person, you get to be an actual ambassador for that, not just driving every week, but to do stuff like this with Spire, to be here at the Rabbits game, to kind of be an ambassador for your sport in a place like Greenville that is NASCAR centric. What's it like for you to kind of get to be the face of NASCAR for a night?
That's pretty cool, man. It's anytime you come hang out and get a little bit of a VIP treatment, I guess. I'll have my wife and my little 2-year-old to be his first hockey game, so I'm excited to see what he thinks of it and have some fun out there hanging out with everybody. But I think that looking at TV market ratings every week, Greenville's in the top 3 or 4 all across the country with Indy and Charlotte and Greensboro. Greenville is one of the top NASCAR sport markets that there is. So I think that, to your point, there's several racetracks right around there. So, maybe if somebody can, meet me or meet Justin or Josh, somebody that's down there, Garrett, and maybe get to know one of us and get to follow us on social media. That way you kind of have a horse in the race to pull for, and not just watch some cars go around in circles. That's kind of what we're trying to do. And anytime also we can just hit the reset button a little bit before the season starts. We just got back from a Daytona test. But before long, we'll be headed out to LA for that, for the race in the LA Coliseum. And then we turn around the next week and head down to Daytona. So we'll be going before we know it, but it's cool to get one last little trip in the books before we hit the hard.
Corey LaJoie drives the number 7 Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. He'll be with us at the Greenville Swamp Rabbits game coming up this Saturday at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in downtown Greenville. Corey, I want to ask you a couple of questions about racing. And first and foremost, every year NASCAR starts off with the Daytona 500. It's been called the Crown Jewel. It's been called the Super Bowl, etc. You have gotten to run some Daytona 500s. You have had both some exhilarating and some very scary moments in the Daytona 500 over the years. Can you give me kind of an inside the helmet, inside the car look at what it's like to drive in a race that is that fast, it's that close, it's that adrenaline packed? For those of us who love the sport, and the best we ever get to watch is a YouTube video from inside the car, what's it like to drive in that particular race, especially when you're opening the schedule with it?
Yeah, I mean, you can't even explain it in words. It's a feeling, no matter if it's pre-race, because you've been sitting around all winter long, ready to go, and then you look up the stands, and Daytona announced, I think yesterday, that it's a sold-out race. So that means there'll be over 160,000 people on site over the course of the day to watch. So you come out for driver intros, and it's a little bit of a pinch me moment because that's the stuff you dreamed of growing up as a kid to rifle off for the Daytona 500, and then you put the helmet on, a strap in, and I feel like the majority of the race is fairly tame. There's some wrecks occasionally, but once you get down to it, you literally can feel the intensity pick up, and kind of like when you're on an airplane, like the pressure kind of drops when you change altitude, like the pressure in the pack with all the cars bunched up together changes, and that's when business really starts picking up, with cars bump drafting hard and a lot of taking, not much given at the end of the race, especially trying to fight for that Harley J. Earl trophy, because the 500 pays give or take 5 times more than every other race we have in the schedule, so everybody wants that one.
We're talking to Corey LaJoie, drives the number 7 Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. He'll be at the well this Saturday night for the Greenville Swamp Rabbits game as they host racing night. Corey, I want to go back, and again, if you don't want to talk about this, completely understand, but you were involved. We had that accident in the Daytona 500 with Ryan Newman. I was actually brand new here in Greenville watching that race. I had just moved here literally days before, watching that race, and a scary moment. You were actually involved in that accident. Newman was already airborne when he struck your car. I've read the story that it knocked the wind out of you. Of course, Ryan Newman would go to the hospital. A lot of us were terrified he might not get out, but eventually walked out of his own power, was able to drive later on in the season. When NASCAR has those types of moments, that it takes it from, hey, Daytona's fun because it can be a bit of a demolition derby in the last couple of racks, to, hey, we as fans need to remember that these guys are quite literally taking their lives in their hand, from the guy who experienced that. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was wild, man. Luckily, Ryan was okay, and really lucky, for the way the wreck happened and where I hit him and all this stuff into consideration. So, with the advancements NASCAR's made with that Gen 6 car, and now the next gen car that we're going to be racing here in the 500 on, is even considerably more safe than that. So, I think a lot of things that they learned over, the last 20 years that were applied to our previous chassis, they added even more so to the new chassis. So it makes you feel good being a driver that NASCAR's investing, and they're smart people that are making our cars safe. But that's also the assumed risk when you put the helmet on and tighten the belts. That stuff can happen. It has happened before, and but that's also part of the gig, man. It's kind of why people show up to watch it, and a lot of times that's why we kind of sign up to do it, because it is a dangerous sport. Not many people have the intestinal fortitude to go 200 miles an hour and lay it on the line when they have to.
Corey LaJoy joining us here on the Rob Brown Show, NASCAR driver rocking the number 7 for Spire Motorsports. Corey, one thing that I've seen out of a lot of guys, most of y'all get into this very, very early. Of course, you come from a racing family. Your old man is a 2-time Busch champion. Of course, you've been doing this since what? I think if I read correctly, like 1996, you started racing karts. What most of the guys in this sport have a history of racing. They come from racing. They grow up racing. They start on the go-karts, make their way up. What has it meant for you to be able to go from all the way from kart racing, and now you are racing on racing's biggest circuit in the United States?
A lot of times you can lose perspective, right? Just because it becomes a job and, no different than anything else. You kind of get accustomed to the sights and the sounds and the uncommon things that come along with the job I get to do every weekend. But, when you take a step back and look at it through that lens of, I'm doing and have been doing for the last 3 or 4 years what I've worked my entire life for. That's pretty cool to be able to do that. Not many people can say that. And I'm a really small number that get paid to make a career out of driving in circles, which I don't take lightly. So, that's why I try to stay somewhat. I think that is what keeps me grounded, just because I know how hard I've worked to get here, and I'm not too far removed from, the long nights and the drives to the racetrack with your buddies and stuff like that. The days that it really, when I thought that it sucked, those were like the good old days, right? So you got to look back on those that kind of keep me grounded for, hopefully the success that comes in the near future for myself in NASCAR and Spire Motorsports.
Corey LaJoy joining us here on the Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate. All right, Corey, a couple more for you. The next one going to be kind of a, if you will, a dorky NASCAR question. But I've been following the testing of the next-gen car. I know Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been down there spinning circles to kind of pitch in on that. Trying out a more symmetrical car, but it's given some wiggle room to teams to kind of try new stuff, to move stuff around. Do you have any thoughts? As somebody on the inside, as somebody who's going to be directly impacted this, any thoughts on what we're seeing out of the next-gen car testing the last couple of days?
Yeah, I think that we're seeing that, it's going to tighten up the competition from the front to the back. I think the window for, the parts and pieces is certainly exponentially smaller than what it was. There's still a lot of value put on your people to assemble the parts and get the setups dialed in the way they're supposed to, because now the littlest adjustments are going to put you are that much more important relative to the field, because everybody has the same parts they're working with. So I'm excited to have Hendrick Engines and the good people here at Spire that we've assembled to go to battle with every week. But I think for the future of the sport and the future OEMs, the current ones we have now, as well as potential new ones, I think it's definitely a good direction we're going to go. And, I think for the near future, there's certainly going to be some bugs to work out with a new vehicle, but over the course of the year and years to come, I think this is certainly the best direction that the sport could have made to make it a little more financially, understandable, and hopefully, that kind of pays dividends for these team owners and as well as the drivers over the next couple of years.
Corey LaJoy joining us here on the Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate. Your relationship with Spire, Corey, obviously all of us around here, we have gotten to know Spire over the last couple of years, owning the Swamp Rabbits. They have done a fantastic job, I think, of putting together one of the most energetic, one of the most enthusiastic hockey experiences that we have gotten to see in recent years here in Greenville. Your relationship with Spire as far as a racing team, a team that's committed to winning, a team that is committed to putting a great product both under you as a driver and on the track for the fans. What's your relationship been with Spire like since you've signed with this team?
It's been good, man. It's really turned into what we hoped it would be, just building a good foundation of guys that, bear down and get after it when we have to, and also have a little fun when we're able to. It's just this will be my third year working with my crew chief Ryan Sparks, as well as our engineer Roy. So, there's lots of good things happening here, and we were all putting our chips on the table and pushing them all in for this next gen car, because it's a reset for the entire sport. So, I love going to battle with these guys, and I love the opportunity to figure out how to make a new race car go fast, and hopefully we can hit the ground running here in 2 weeks.
Love to hear it. Corey LaJoie drives the number 7 Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports here on the Rob Brown Show. Last one, Corey. We'll cut you loose because I know you got a lot going on. But I got to ask you a question I ask pretty much every guest we have on the show, and there's a point in asking. It's weird. Stick with me. When you go to a restaurant, you order a hot dog. What does Corey LaJoie expect to come on that hot dog?
Ooh, Martinsville Speedway in Virginia is famous, obviously, for their hot dogs, and they get it with chili, coleslaw, and mustard and onions, I believe. So I can eat a Martinsville hot dog any time of day. So give me that, and I'll be good to go.
Corey, around here, they tell me that a hot dog comes with chili. If it's anything else, it's not a hot dog. A hot dog comes with chili, and you are the first guest. And referencing Martinsville Speedway to do it, my man even tied NASCAR in with it. The first guest that says he wants, expects chili on his hot dog. Corey LaJoie, you have just greatly endeared yourself to the folks of the upstate of South Carolina and earned some new fans, my man. Congratulations.
Sounds good. I'll see everybody this Saturday.
There you go. Corey LaJoie drives the number 7 Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. He is going to be this Saturday night at the Well, downtown Greenville, as the Greenville Swamp Rabbits present Racing Night. Come on by. It is going to be a great time. I will absolutely be there. Come see me. Come say hi. Come say hi to Corey LaJoie. They're going to have the cars there, by the way. Like in the building, you're going to be able to go up and take a picture with Corey LaJoie's number 7 as well as the number 77 of Spire Motorsports. You'll be able to meet, greet, take photos with the guys, etc. Very cool thing. Hope to see you there. Let's take a break. Back after this on the Rob Brown Show and ESPN Upstate. Timing it back in. Very short segment when we come back. Do you say anything or just stare at me because I feel very awkward right now? Okay, perfect.
I'm just trying to get up and go to the restaurant.
Gotcha. 10-4. George, glad to hear it, big dog. Glad to hear it. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. Daniel, I love that you're talking smack about the Saints while you have a sack of crawfish as your Abby there. By the way, what's that 4 regular season games in a row that we've won over you guys? You gonna bring Buck Snack in here? You guys are 1-4 in the last 5 against us, and you're gonna run smack. I got you. Word. Be right back.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
No, Steven. No. That is a chili dog. That is a chili dog. It remains a chili
And by
dog.
the way, he answered what he wanted.
Correct.
He
Not
didn't
what
say what he
comes off.
expected. I mean,
He also
so
credited one specific place for
he did. He did.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Where'd Rob go? Where are you going?
Great recruiting starts with great conversations. That's why when you post a job for free, LinkedIn Jobs taps into a network of over 770 million professionals to find the right people for your role. LinkedIn Jobs helps you narrow down to only the most qualified candidates, which means you can start hiring the right people fast.
When you leave the room for a second time, it's concerning. I just want you to know. I get it, but still.
Cherry limeade.
Yeah.
Quickly climbing the power rankings for me.
Yeah, it was my favorite for a while.
Yeah. Corey freaking LaJoy, ladies and gentlemen. Just calling into the show and hanging out with us for a little while. I would like to go on the record and say that Corey said what he wanted on a hot dog, not what he expects to come on it. He said he wants, if he gets to pick, a Martinsville Speedway hot dog, which comes with chili mustard and onion on it. That's what he said he wants, not what he expects. That's still a chili dog, all right? Call it what you want, but it is a chili dog by definition. That being said, I suspect that after coming to hang out with us at the Swamp Rabbits game on Saturday evening and saying that his favorite hot dog does come with chili on it, I would suspect that Corey LaJoy has earned himself some new fans here in the upstate, wouldn't you? I think so.
I'm looking up the Martinsville Speedway menu to see if it's listed as a hot dog or a chili dog, because research.
Yeah, that's what we do here. We like to be on top of the game, That's chili dog, folks. That's just a stone cold fact. You don't have to like it, but it is what it is. That's a chili dog. All right. 844-GSP ESPN 844-477-3776. Hey, I want to remind you guys that you can now, and you should now, go to BetQL.com, because the BetQL Giving Props promotion has officially started and runs every week through the Super Bowl. Every week, BetQL is putting up 10 prop bets on their website. 10 prop bets on the website. The person with the most correct picks of the 10 prop bets will win $2,000. And by entering, you are automatically entered into a random grand prize drawing for $10,000. So every week, you pick 10 prop bets. Whoever nails the most is winning $2,000. And just by playing, you're entered into a random grand prize drawing for $10,000. Go to betql.com/props to get yourself signed up. That's betql.com/props. You can make those picks right now at betql.com. Go check that out. All right. Let's run to a break. We'll identify the results of Lonzo's research when we come back. And Big Ben Roethlisberger in the playoffs. He has just done something that I have said for years a quarterback should do. He has just answered a question in the most remarkable way possible. I'm going to play that audio for you when we come back. I'm Rob. He's Lonzo. You're listening to the best damn sports talk radio show in the state of South Carolina, according to the South Carolina Broadcasters Association. This is ESPN Upstate.
QC.
I do that. Talking to my friends at QC Kinetics. There is something that's going to happen to all of you. You youngins, listen to me. Listen to Uncle Rob here, because I'm trying to help you. As you age, as you grow older, the connective tissue inside your joints, it's going to start to wear down. When you're young, you whippersnappers. It regenerates itself. It heals itself so that you can keep on trucking, keep on moving, and not have to deal with it. It's a superpower. But age is the kryptonite. And eventually that connective tissue stops to regenerate itself, stops repairing and healing itself. And somebody's going to tell you, hey, you got to get a new knee. You got to get a new shoulder, new hip, whatever. Before you do that, I need you to check out my friends at QC Kinetics by going to their website at QC Kinetics, QCKINETIX.com, and learn about their non-surgical regenerative therapy. That's right, their non-surgical regenerative therapy. And what you're going to see there is that they use your body's own natural healing ability. They basically become the catalyst for your body to start to heal and repair itself. That connective tissue that is worn down, it will start to regenerate, and it will do so without having to get sliced, diced, cut open, put under drug, steroids, physical therapy, or anesthesia. It's that easy. Call them right now at 864-448-3772, 864-448-3772. Mention the Rob Brown Show. Get that first consultation for free with our friends at QC Kinetics.
So this place is really famous for its hot dogs.
Yeah.
There are a ton of different kinds of hot dogs. This is interesting.
You want to go to the race at the Roval with me this year?
Probably not, but, you know.
No fun, Lonzo. NASCAR race.
No, here's the thing.
Sunday.
Here's the thing. It wouldn't be fun for you.
Why?
Having me there, because I wouldn't be very much fun. You know, other people will laugh and have a good time. No, my head would not go down like that. That's just
You are more of a you're more of an upright sitter.
Yeah, I try to exhibit good posture when and it's all about the seats more than anything. And I just like to sit as tall as I can and make the people behind me have to stand up.
You don't just provide cookie cutter portfolios? No, we get to know our clients so we can tailor their portfolios to their specific goals and needs. We even offer resources on Social Security, Medicare, tax efficiency, and more. Our primary goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement. But you still sell investments that generate high commissions, right? No, we don't sell commission products. Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first. So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money? Yep, our fees are transparent, structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that core dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Yeah.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day.
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we have Raymond in Buffalo and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Granger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations, so you get the product you're looking for. Call clickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so,
there's some hot dogs on this list that I'm thinking you would not eat, but I could be wrong. I'm very interested. I want to wait.
Are you gonna do it on air?
If you want to, yeah. I mean, because it's.
I got to do a sports segment here.
You got to do a what?
A sports segment here.
What? I don't get it.
So I just did a hot dog segment. I can't follow it with another hot dog segment.
You can do whatever you want. It's your show and it's award winning. And we said when we come back that I was going to say what was on the menu. So I mean,
true, we did. Okay.
It's just. I mean, you've already teased it, but we don't have to.
No, we'll do it now. You've convinced me.
It'd be worth it. Trust me.
Okay, I trust you.
There's just one hot dog in particular. I'm very interested in whether you would eat it or not. And from all the articles, this place is very famous for their hot dogs. We could probably recreate this one hot dog. All right, welcome back to the Rob Brown Show. I'm Lonzo, in case you didn't know that. All right, so before we went to break, we were talking about Martinville's famous hot dogs, and I had to look up and see what if a regular hot dog comes with all that stuff that LaJoy said. And here's the thing: it doesn't look like there are any plain hot dogs, period. But they have several different hot dogs, including the closer 4-pack, 3 perfect hot dogs, and a 4th one that's smashed to bits. That is on the menu. Most popular dog, hot dog topped with sliced banana and slathered in mayonnaise.
Ooh.
So that's the one I wanted to ask you about. Are you willing? Sliced banana and slathered in mayonnaise. Now, it doesn't say if the bananas are fried or not.
Right. I'm going to say they probably aren't. All right, so a hot dog covered in sliced banana
and mayonnaise
and mayo. I mean, first off, is it Duke's? You know, you got to start somewhere.
Well, that's only in this area. It's not worldwide like most mayonnaise.
You get to the Florida Panhandle, learn that. I would try it, and here's why. I have had many foods presented to me that they tell you, and you go, those things do not go together. Those foods don't go together. And they've worked out really well.
Well, I have enough.
I would try it, but I don't know. I would try it if somebody else got it, brought it back to where I was watching the race and was like, dude, I got this. You got to try it. I would try it.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'm ordering it.
All right. The Internet Police Special is a hot dog with special Mountain Dew mustard topped with crushed Dorito bits.
Oh, I'm in for that. I'm in for that. Play Xbox. How can I not be in for that?
Exactly. If you can't call yourself a gamer and not
I
want
do
that.
need to know about Mountain Dew mustard, though. Like,
Yeah.
Is it Mountain Dew infused mustard? Is it mustard made from Mountain Dew? Like,
I
I need more details
This
here.
will require more research. There's also a Maynard dog, which is a radioactive glowing yellow hot dog. I don't know if that's.
That's just crushed banana peppers.
Yeah. A rowdy dog, a hot dog sprinkled with M&Ms and Skittles.
Nope. You know why they do that one, right? Because Kyle Busch.
And we took the letters off the candy, so you don't know which pieces are M&Ms and which are Skittles.
No, no. Nope. I'm out. You remember that thing I said 3 seconds ago when I said certain foods don't go together? This is my line. No. I get it why right. Kyle Busch has driven the M&M's car and he drives the Skittles car. So it's a Kyle Busch dog, and I respect that. 18's my guy. Rowdy's my guy. I'm a Kyle Busch fan. But no.
How about the Cup Whacker, which is a 5 miniature Martinsville hot dogs, a little easier to eat, but you can tell everyone you ate 5 hot dogs.
I respect that. I do. If you're willing to be a little unethical and lie about the fact that you ate 5 mini dogs, you can still say I ate 5 hot dogs. That's technically correct. I'm assuming most of the Martinsville dogs are foot-long dogs, to be honest with you.
They're also red hot dogs.
Red hot dogs or red hot dogs?
The color of the hot dog is red. It's the brand that's
If
red.
you are eating a hot dog, you are not super concerned about the composition of the hot dog. Because if you were, you wouldn't eat a hot dog.
If the color of the hot dog is red, I'm assuming it's a sausage.
Now, again, every food is artificially colored. In fact, I would argue theirs is probably less artificially colored than the pink hot dog.
All right, every cooked food, because bananas aren't artificially colored. They're yellow.
Bananas don't exist in nature. Bananas are a man-made product.
I don't believe you.
I'm telling you as a fact. Bananas were made through artificial selection by man. We basically bred wild bananas, which are actually fat and round and full of seeds. We bred the seeds out of natural bananas.
Yeah, but they're banana. It isn't like we just came up with bananas.
Not anything. No, what you go to buy at the grocery store today, we have bred that into existence.
So we
exist
made
before.
it like a Yorkie or a Schnauzer
Correct.
or something.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Bananas and dogs are the two things we fixed. And lemons. Lemons don't exist in the wild either. Did you know that?
They do
Life
not.
can't give you lemons because they don't exist in the wild. Man gave you lemons, and with it, we make lemonade.
So it's all
Back to
mankind's fault, which, is probably true.
All right. We are running up on the top of there. Any more dogs on there?
No, we had time to play this unless you want to move it.
No, give me one more.
No, I was going to say we had time to play the clip.
No,
but you probably want to set it up
I want
more.
to talk about it.
But I would like.
We do
If we wanted to.
I think we do it.
We could.
I think we do it. I think maybe Monday, Tuesday next week. It's going to be Duke's Mayo, though. I'm telling you now. You're going to have to get over yourself.
I will only eat it if it's not Duke's, because I'm not in a cult.
It's like saying I won't drink Kool-Aid because I'm not in a cult. No, you can still have Kool-Aid. It's delicious.
I'll have some Hellmann's.
All right, Monday or Tuesday.
We can't do it Monday. I can say Monday.
Oh, we won't hear Monday.
Yeah,
Tuesday, we'll do hot dogs, sliced bananas, and mayo on the air. We'll do the full review.
See, he thinks I'll forget.
Who's bringing the hot dogs? You or me?
We
have a way to cook. No, we got an oven downstairs. We can actually make the hot dogs here. We don't have a grill.
We can microwave.
Ugh. All right. We're doing mayo, bananas.
Or we could just go buy hot.
Pick them up hot. Back after this with Ben Roethlisberger's hilarious statements on the Rob Brown Show at ESPN Upstate.
Continue to be in the market for a new offensive coordinator. The latest individual to interview for the job is wide receivers coach of the Indianapolis Colts, Mike Groh. He joins Clint Kubiak, the Vikings offensive coordinator, who has spoken with the Panthers. There was a report last weekend that indicated that the Panthers are looking for a, quote, rock star offensive coordinator, unquote. Not clear if Groh or Kubiak will really fit.
Not clear what that is exactly.
Score. They'll get back at it coming up on Saturday when they are set to play host to Boston College. Download the Score app today. Lightning fast sports alerts so you never miss a thing. It's why the Score
And
app.
it said a slice of banana, so it makes me think that they sliced the banana long ways to put in, on top of the hot dog instead of cutting little pieces, just one slice.
But you said slice. Well, I guess technically it's sliced either way.
Yeah, I mean, I have to find out if the hot tub will make this ache in my leg go away. Probably not.
And away we go. The third, the final, the best of money hour. The Rob Brown Show is here on ESPN Upstate. Hello, Upstate South Carolina. Hello, America. Hello, world. Great to be with you. I'm Rob. He's Lonzo. I got to give props to, I'm not a huge Ben Roethlisberger fan, but I got to give him props for being honest. Pittsburgh Steelers set to travel to Kansas City to take on Lonzo's Chefs. And the Steelers are, well, to say they're underdogs, Lonzo, would be underselling it. Nobody expects Pittsburgh to win this game, right? Nobody expects them to win this game. The vast majority of us think that they are absolutely overwhelmed in this one.
I hope the players for the Chiefs absolutely believe they can be beat by Pittsburgh, because if they go in with that attitude, they could lose. So
Kansas City, a 12.5-point favorite over the Steelers. The over-under set at 46.5. Kansas City minus 800 on the money line, plus 550 of the Steelers. All right. So Lonzo hopes that the Chiefs believe that the Steelers can beat the Chiefs, but nobody else does. So Big Ben goes in front of the media after practice, and they ask him about it. Hey, man, what's your attitude, right? What's your attitude going into this game? How you going to try to pull the upset? Big Ben Roethlisberger does something that I have told quarterbacks for years I wish they would do, which is, you know how much I respect a guy who just answers a question honestly? Who just genuinely answers a question honestly? That's why I rag on coaches for coach speak so much. You know what I mean when I say coach speak, right? When I talk about coach speak.
taking it one game at a time.
Oh, yeah. Got to put the best guys out there and give them the best opportunity to make the best plays we can.
Or we're moving on to Cincinnati.
Yeah. You know, any given Sunday, guys, we just go out there, we play our hardest, and any given Sunday it can happen. You know what I mean when I say coach speak, because they say it all the time. Next man up. One game at a time. It's not about them. It's about us. It's a process. My favorite. I'm so proud of these young men. You get that one after every game, no matter what the result. So proud. I want one coach to go, I'm not proud of these idiots at all. In the NFL, right? I want one coach to say, instead of next man up, I want one coach to go, are you kidding me? That guy's a Pro Bowler. There's a reason he's starting. Of course we're going to be worse off without him. Instead of, we take them one game at a time, I want one coach to go, yeah, I know 3 weeks from now, we win that one, we might be in the playoffs. We're really kind of looking forward to it. Because that's honesty, right?
Dude, we're done. I'm probably going
I want the coach that instead of going, hey, you know, we got to stay patient. It's a process. I want one coach to go, yeah, it's not going as great as I thought it would. Things are a little tougher than I thought it was going to be.
a plane landed in the water behind them on the TV, and it wasn't a smooth landing. It looked like the wings dipped a
ESPN
couple.
almost broadcasted a tragedy.
Yeah. So hello.
I want the coach that goes, you know, it's about doing the little things right. To go, we're too dumb to get the little things right. I want the coach that goes, no excuses. One day to go, you remember when I said next man up and that guy was really good that we lost? We lost because he wasn't out there.
I think the closest we have to that is Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
He'll call anybody out.
Bruce has got a Super Bowl ring and Tom Brady. He is out of bleeps to give.
And he will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by coach speak. And players do it too. We got QBs who use coach speak. Big Ben finally escaped the realm of coach speak. He was asked by the media after practice, you guys are going into Kansas City. What's your attitude for this game? And this is what Rothy had to say.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably 20-point underdogs, and we're going to the number one team that, I know they're not the number one seed, but they're the number one team that's won the AFC the last 2 years. Arguably the best team in football. We don't have a chance. So let's just go in and play and have fun.
All right.
Thanks.
And this is going to be his last.
What the hell does he care?
Yeah.
I love it. We're going into the house of probably the best team in football. We don't have a chance, so let's go have fun. Now, I promise you that is not how Big Ben's actually attacking this game, right? Like, he's at practice. He's running through new plays. He's trying to figure it out. He wants to win the game. It probably is his last game. But I respect that the dude went, yeah, we're 20-point dogs. Like, of course we're going to go out there and do the best we can and have fun. Thank you, Ben, for being the first quarterback to ever answer a question honestly. I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. Give me more honest answers in sports because of, what did I tell you yesterday? We love drama. And you can tell me that you don't, but we love drama. That's why conflict drives Sports Talk Radio. It's why you listen to music, you watch TV, you watch movies, you watch sports, because the drama is there. The best Super Bowls are the ones that come down to the team with the ball with 30 seconds to play and 60 yards to go to score a touchdown and win. Drama. We love drama. And that is what Coach Speak is. It's the antithesis to drama. It's the opposite of drama. Coach Speak is, how do I take the drama out of this situation? When the Pro Bowl wide receiver goes down to a busted ACL and the offense has just lost 43% of its yards that year, there's drama in, how do we get past this? There's drama in, how we going to generate those yards? How we going to score without that guy? So what does the coach do? Us, next man up philosophy. You know, we got a lot of good players in this locker room, and everybody's always chomping at the bit for an opportunity. This is going to be a great opportunity for a lot of guys out there to step up and fill a role that needs to be filled. Next man up. There's no drama in that, right? Give me honest quarterback all day, Lonzo. What do you think about Ben's comments there? Because I love them.
Yeah, I'm good with it. And here's what. Maybe he really means it. Maybe he doesn't. He knows that they shouldn't be in the playoffs. They absolutely should not be in the playoffs. They were a tie away from not going, with still almost. Don't ruin Kansas City retiring you. That would be my fun.
Yeah, Kansas. It wasn't Kansas City, but Kansas City fans are circulating a like a meme on Twitter right now that says Kansas City Chiefs cordially invites you to Big Ben Roethlisberger's retirement party this Sunday. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with that stuff.
They photoshopped him to look like a really old man.
You got to be careful with that. He is a really old man. You got to be careful with that.
Hey, my girl Mina Kimes is under fire on Twitter, and I'm about to rush to her defense. Mina asked this question, Lonzo, and it's a question I want an answer from you from. In fact, we may bring this back up tomorrow and have some fun with it, but I got a defender here. Mina says on Twitter, what's your goofiest sports take that you actually kind of believe? What is the goofiest sports take you have that you actually kind of believe? You got one off the top of your head?
That Vegas decides who wins games in pro sports.
Oh, you think it's rigged? Straight up rigged.
You said goofy. I mean,
but you believe a little bit,
especially after last week.
I absolutely believe the NFL has preferred winners and losers, and will occasionally tilt the field of competition one direction for it
by using the referees. And
sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's some call in error.
Yeah,
you gotta look and go. Yeah, someone told.
Anyone in particular stick out to you?
Someone told him to do that.
NFC Championship game or anything like that? No. Rams. Maybe?
That was just
hypothetically.
That was human error and dumb luck.
Human error.
Yes.
So we should get rid of the human error so that the
no.
We shouldn't. We should. Okay. Got
New Orleans didn't deserve to win that year.
I will fight you. I will fight you, and I will kick you in your snow knee.
Please do. Maybe it'll fall off.
Mina Kimes said, and she is getting absolutely run for it on Twitter, and I'm going to extrapolate this to further conversation. She said the goofiest sports take she believes is that if the Bills want to truly get the most out of Josh Allen as quarterback, they need to build a domed stadium. Said if they really want Josh Allen to reach the Tom Brady levels that Josh Allen built, that Bills fans think Josh Allen can reach, they need to build a dome stadium. She's getting run on Twitter right now for the audacity of saying that NFL teams should have dome stadiums to get the most out of their quarterbacks. Josh Allen has a less than 50% completion percentage when it is below 50 degrees outside. And it's like 69 to 70% completion percentage when it's above, right? So she's saying if he could play warm, he'd be there. Now, she's getting run on Twitter. I have made this argument in the past, and I know a lot of fans like to run me for it too. Because football's fun in the mud and the dirt. No, it's not. No, it's not. Don't tell me it is. You're lying to me and yourself.
Well, it is fun in the mud and the dirt. You know, it's not fun in snow. It's not fun in slush. It's not fun in cold rain. I mean, if it's
not fun in anything that's not sunny and 72.
If it's muddy from the day before and you sack the quarterback, and he stands up and he's got mud and dirt and stuff in his face and he has to wipe his eyes off, and you just did that to him, that's fun.
No. Nope. Here's the thing.
Don't be dismissive. It's true.
Somebody asked me the other day, and we're going to talk about this quite extensively on the show tomorrow. What can the rest of the country do if they want to keep up with the Southeastern Conference and prevent the SEC's power growth from continuing? And one of the things I said, if I'm Big Ten teams, I'm doming my stadium over. I'm doming it over. Even if it's just a roof with some heaters in it, dome it over. Why? Because if you're a Big Ten team, with the exception of basically Ohio State, you have to build teams that are capable of playing in the slush and the snow late in the year, right? Because we get those ugly Penn State snow games, those ugly Ann Arbor snow games, and speed teams don't win in that. Can't win in that. But how many national championship games have been played in anything other than 72 and sunny? It's always nice in January in Pasadena.
I'm just guessing back in the day, in the early days, that they did it in cold weather, because it seems to me that there was some early Super Bowls that were in cold weather.
Yeah. I mean, you go back to like the Ice Bowl and stuff like that. But nowadays, the NFL will put the Super Bowl in a cold weather environment in a dome stadium where it's 72 and sunny. The NFL will play the Super Bowl in, they won't do it in Green Bay. Most historic football stadium in America is Lambeau Field. They won't play the Super Bowl there because the Super Bowl in 13 degrees snow and mud is boring. It's boring. It's boring. And you take half the teams out of the equation, right? Because great offensive teams aren't going to do well when it's sleeting and gross outside. Mina's right on here. If you're the Big Ten, dome over your stadiums. Build speed teams. Start recruiting teams to compete with SEC speed. Because otherwise, they're just going to keep running past you to the championship trophy every year. Mina's got a point, and she's got the numbers to prove it. Hey, Lonzo, you know what's next on the show?
Fight Club.
Fight Club with Lonzo. You're home for all things combat sports in the Upstate when we come back to the Rob Brown Show and ESPN Upstate.
He joins a Cliff Kubiak, the Vikings offensive coordinator, who have spoken with the Panthers. There was a report last weekend that indicated that the Panthers are looking for a, quote, rock star offensive coordinator, unquote. Not clear if Groh or Kubiak will fit under that description. Clemson basketball, they lose to Notre Dame on Wednesday by a 72-56 score. We'll get back at it coming up on Saturday when they're set to play host to Boston College. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. The Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. With your ESPN Upstate Sports Center update, I'm Matt Pauley.
Have you heard Offsides with Mark Ryan?
Coming up on a Friday Eve episode of Offsides with Mark Ryan and Diesel, two teams that really need to win, and the two most likely upsets coming your way in the National Football League. I have a new favorite NBA player. Why that is likely to make such an upstate very, very, very
about Offsides with Mark Ryan now 3 to 7 p.m. on ESPN Upstate. Tonight on the NBA on ESPN Radio. The Portland Trailblazers begin a 6-game road trip, their longest of the season, when they face Nikola Jokic's Denver Nuggets. Gives it up to Jokic, straight up triple try. The Trailblazers and Nuggets. Tonight at 9:30, the NBA plays here on ESPN Upstate.
If you were designing the next generation of luxury crossovers, you'd want it to have everything that's important to you, not just an available 14-inch touchscreen, an interface designed to give you what you need, where you need it, not just an advanced safety system, one that's designed to help you protect others on the road, not just a driver-centric
I just saw myself on screen and realized I could see myself thinking. That's disturbing.
Let's resolve to eat better pizza. Come on, you can do it with the Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers. Let's start slow. Hit the nuts. We'll hand toss that spring water dough just for you. Then add the freshest ingredients and serve it hot. Now, lift it. You're doing it. It's a change of pizza lifestyle. Happy New Year from the Mellow Mushroom. 1 Augusta Street.
Projectiles.
That was complete luck.
Yep.
No, the oil went off. I don't know if you saw. Look, it went off this. It went off,
Oh no, I
it
thought
went,
you just hit.
No, it went off this and then it went in there. That was definitely.
That guy just straight up gangstered next to my car. I don't know if I like it or if they just can't drive.
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities. Where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road for greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game. Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven. I just don't think he's good enough to be.
Welcome to the Fight Club, where we all right, let's talk. You know, Rob like AEW. I got they've grown on me. I'm good with it, but the stuff. he's kind of. Where are the strong factions? Where's the Pinnacle? I mean, that thing was on fire when it first started. Where are they? Where are they? What the super elite? Where did it go? Where did the elite go? Where did they all?
Here's why I prefer AEW to WWE, because it is more, and I'm gonna tick wrestling fans off with this, more true to how real life works than WWE. Right? I think it's more true to how life works. Why would it make sense that these guys would follow MJF around in the Pinnacle when MJF is MJF, right? Like eventually, we've all known that guy in our life, right? And for a while, he's cool because you get to hang out with him and use the speedboat and the hot tub, and he's got all the ladies around him.
Actually, no, I've never hung out with that guy.
Right, a lot of us have known that guy. And after a while, you get to the point where you may not outright be like, hey, I hate you and I want to fight you now. But you just eventually start to shift away. You just start to phase him out of your life because it's not doing you any good to be around him. You're being nothing but fodder for him, right? So it makes sense. I think it's far more humanized than WWE, where when guys break into WWE, they have to fight. Like you fight at the end. You always not every, for lack of a better term, breakup ends in a fight. Sometimes people just drift apart and go in different directions because they've got their own achievements and you don't fit with each other anymore. And I think that's perfectly fine. Again, one of the things that I've been interested in is watching people who have been, as I was, lifelong WWE fans get exposed to a new company and have to shake the shock value because WWE is so formulatic in everything they do. We are once again rehashing a character goes to therapy line. This is the 100th character goes to therapy line in the last 10 years. We're doing it again. And now this new company goes, you don't have to do it that way. And it takes some getting used to.
All right. Speaking of some of that, we're going to get to that in just a second. We got to see the real life couple on screen of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, friend of the show, by the way, without a doubt. And, one of my favorite promos with her real life boyfriend. Got to see that with Adam Cole, baby. But then they decided to rehash something that the WWE has done many times. We're going to get a mixed tag, Adam Cole and Britt Baker versus Orange Cassidy and Statlander. Wow.
I'm here for it.
Undisputed Era.
You're going to. You're going to. A brawl from happening by coming out, which, by the way, makes sense because those guys got their faces kicked in by the Young Bucks last week in a match the Young Bucks weren't in. I love what they did here. So you're getting Stat and Orange versus Adam Cole and Dr. Britt Baker DMD, which is a great mixed tag match. Because Chris Statlander is going to make DMD look even more badass than she is, and she's already great. You've got Young Bucks and Undisputed Era. And now you've got the looming threat of the best friends on the outside. This is fantastic because all three of these groups have had important interactions with each other over the past 2 months, and they're advancing that. I think it's fantastic.
All right, so there are really no new storylines. Everything WWE is doing, AEW is doing.
But better.
That's just your opinion because you appear to be so anti-WWE that you have to be extremely pro AEW, and you can be pro both to the point where I would ask the listeners, who's the heel here and who's the face? Am I the heel or is Rob the face? Rob, I think, comes across as the heel in this situation in his
i.e. hottie intellectual. No.
You got to do this when
You're
you do
approaching it. You're
that.
approaching
there
it
you go.
as, right, who's the face and who's the heel? One of my, you know why I like our faces and heel segments? Because it makes us pick a face and a heel. When you and I both know that in real life, there's a little bit of right and wrong on both sides in most scenarios, right? But we're trying to pick who's most right and who's most wrong. Not every fight has a good guy and a bad guy. Sometimes they both have really good reasons, and sometimes they both have really bad reasons. Like, that's a thing. But again, Vince has for so long been adamant that there's always a good guy and there's always a bad guy. And that's how it works, because I want you to cheer the good guy and boo the bad guy, to the point that I will have the bad guy go way beyond what would be expected out of this person to make you boo him. And that's when it loses what attracts the grown-ups who watch wrestling. Like, it might work for the kids, whatever. I think in AEW have a spot here where, okay, Young Bucks and Undisputed Era. Who's the bad guy in that scenario?
Adam Cole.
I don't even think Adam Cole's the bad guy.
Well, he's definitely the bad guy because he's the in-between guy and he's playing both sides.
But
he's the bad guy.
To me, he's not playing both sides. He's got these two guys that he has been wrestling with for years in the Undisputed Era, that he was friends with in NXT. We all know the backstory there, and they even referenced it the other day, right? When Adam Cole said it's now an Undisputed Era here in AEW, right? He referenced that. And but when he came to AEW, he got back with his old friends, the Young Bucks, and maybe Adam Cole, from a human being perspective, is looking at two groups of two friends that he's had a lot of interaction with in the past and is going, you know what? If I can get all four of these guys to get along, we become without a doubt the most dominant faction, maybe in the not just in AEW, but the most dominant wrestling faction since, I don't know, NWO. If I can get all four guys on the same page. He's not playing them against each other. He's literally trying to get them to become a faction. But he's got two groups of two guys that don't like each other, and he's trying to make them like each other. I think it's a fantastic story, because who amongst us hasn't introduced two different groups of friends and gone, I really hope these people get along so that I can have a bigger circle?
And they usually don't. By adding Adam Cole, because he's so vocal, it makes them look lesser. Like, they need to have that front man in order for them to do anything. And from if you're a fan of them, I think that has to bother you a little bit. Because he went from Kenny Omega to now Adam Cole comes in and suddenly he's the mouthpiece. He's the guy.
Right. And which also sets us up for what, right? Kenny Omega's going to be back in 4, 5, 6 months. Who knows? I don't know how long he's going to be out. But Omega comes back. And now you're telling me you don't want Adam Cole v. Kenny Omega for control of the elite? I mean, that these stories write themselves, and they're realistic, right? They're realistic. Imagine anybody can imagine a situation like this they've been in, one where you're trying to get two friend groups together. The Young Bucks at some point are going to address the fact that they have always been the team that gets the microphone taken away from them by Adam Cole or Omega. Omega and Cole fighting each other for control. The AEW storylines are not traditional good guy, bad guy storylines. They're human being storylines with backgrounds that we all can connect with. That's why it's a better company to me right now.
Well, I guess we will have to wait and see what happens down the road when Kenny Omega does come back. But by then, so this storyline will be stretched so long that it will get old. And I hope that doesn't happen. Maybe he comes back a lot sooner. All right, let's talk about CM Punk versus Wardlow. Now, the backstory with MJF of CM Punk is great. And anything MJF does on the microphone is great. The thing is, they made CM Punk look like what he is. They made him look old. They made him look tired. They made him look like he didn't have a moveset. Yes, he's going up against the monster in Wardlow, who is definitely, this is the classic storyline. You know, the hired muscle ends up turning on the boss eventually. The hired muscle who is very... How were. And, you know, from a real...
not smart.
I
Lonzo?
said set down.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say power bomb her. When he make sure that his head was propped up nice and tight. If you want to sell the story, Michaels getting power bombed by Kevin Nash 9 times or something like that. And with the from this state with him, it's embarrassing.
Lonzo.
It really.
My goodness. Miss Lisa, I hope you're listening. Warm up the shower because Lonzo's going to have to rinse the hate off when he gets off the air today. He's just rolling in it. Look, no, those were not 7 foot tall.
Those power Boba Fett. That's all I'm saying.
Bringing in all the hate. Texture says, if it's real, why are we talking? Okay, yeah, wrestling's fake. We know.
All right, you can tune out for the next 5 minutes and then come back. That's
So
is that movie we watched. It's not real. So scripted.
So those were far from the worst power bombs I've ever seen. They
Come
were
on.
incredible.
Come on.
But dude, you could take
I can go see an indie show down the road and the power bombs. I'm going to hear them. I'm going to
set. My dude took, what was it? What did he take? He genuinely took 5 consecutive.
All right.
Punk and Wardlow could have put on the greatest wrestling match of all time, and you'd have found a reason to critique Punk.
Not true. Not
you're
true.
Mad at
I
Punk.
pointed.
JF Wardlow side of the storyline.
No, I'm good with the CM Punk sideline part of the.
Be one of those spots, and I don't do this very often.
Took his glasses off.
I did, because this is one of those, but mainly because I'm worried you're about to punch me through the glass, and I don't want my glasses broken. This is one of those times, and I hate when professional athletes do this, right? But this is one of those times where I'm going to go, have you ever been in a ring and power bombed or taken a power bomb?
So he knows, Rob knows that I know that.
And taken a power bomb.
Yes. And
it
you know, dude, if he dark. That's snow
Your
already.
anger is now manifesting in the clouds, Lonzo. Your hate is taking over the weather outside. It's going to snow this weekend because of your hate funneling up into the atmosphere. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the best match CM Punk's ever done. No. All right. But we also know CM Punk's in his early 40s. We all know that he's towards the end of his top of the card wrestling career. Wardlow slammed him like he has slammed Darby Allin. Yes, he would break CM Punk. All right. But I don't want to hear it from you when your company's trotting out Bill Goldberg.
Your company. See, again, you're implying that I am a shield for WWE. I'm not. I love all good wrestling. I do. I just want it to look good. And it doesn't matter the company. Was I down on AEW in the beginning? Yes, but they've gotten better. But what I'm saying is they have the potential to be the best wrestling company of all time, but they will not get there if they keep taking these steps backwards.
I don't see it as a step backwards. You're not gonna do 5-star every single night. All right. I gave credit to WWE.
Dude, that was that. I can
see it. Who do you think wants to see it, Zoe? Tell me who wants to see it. Who wants to see the two biggest super athletes in the thing wrestle? Who is it?
MVP.
No, it's Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And when Vince wants to see a thing, you want to see the thing. As far as Vince is concerned, this is Vince's baby.
You know what?
No. The number one reason AEW is better is because
condescending, haughty voice
storyline. Correct, because sometimes haughty intellectual Rob needs to put some reason in the conversation. That's what I'm here for. All right, let's take a break. Let's just stop. Let's get to a break. When we come back here in just a minute from right now, I got a couple more stories that I want to get to before we wrap it up for Thursday and an NFL playoff preview, Twitter trending topics, all that on the Rob Brown Show. ESPN Upstate.
So since we're fighting about wrestling, the only thing we can do to calm everybody down is to talk about video games.
What video game are we talking about?
No, I'm just playing old stuff right now. So.
I ain't gonna live forever.
Stop it.
What?
Stop it.
I just want to live while I'm alive.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines the prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to 4hims.com/joy. That's right, free. Zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/joy.
Running a small business means just that. Always running. Woo! You're not kidding. Which is why this holiday, while the other guys, not mentioning any names, are kicking it back, we'll be happy when you need it by leaving our doors open for you. So whatever the ing you need this holiday, whether it's packing, shipping, or mailboxing, we'll be right here waiting.
Now that's an ing worth celebrating.
UPS Store. Every ing for small business, all in one place.
The UPS Store.
UPS Store.
I made sure I didn't spoil about what happens at the end of it. because you haven't watched it yet.
Oh. Shake it up. Bam, 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 bam.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 silver.
You want to make it really amazing? Make Brandon Cutler stab them all in the back and
Just take over.
Yeah.
Just start his own.
If
faction.
you look at him compared to all those other guys,
He's a big dude.
that dude is huge.
Landon.
What did Britt call him? Carter. She said his last name wrong. I forget what she said.
All right. Oh, okay. Just right into it.
We have breaking news. It's cloudy outside. It's going to snow.
Explain to me what snow clouds are, because I hear people keep saying snow clouds versus clouds. What's a snow cloud look like?
Those are not snow clouds, by the way. That's just clouds. Snow clouds are fat and heavy, and they hang low. You walk outside, they hang that low.
I last year, and I got it. I'm gonna give the lady friend credit here, because last year when we had the snow last year in February, and I said, let's go up to Asheville, and she goes, I don't know if we're gonna need to. It might snow here. And I said, why? And she pointed up and she goes, those are snow clouds. And I went, those are just clouds. And she said, no, those are definitely snow clouds. Just look, and that was just look at them. Yeah, well, I come from Florida. Not a lot of those hanging around the beach.
When you look at clouds in Florida, are there clouds that let you know a hurricane is coming? This is a legitimate question.
Yeah, because so before the storm, I mean, first off, they're thunder clouds. They're black, right? Like clearly that cloud is a rain cloud. They're dark clouds. They're stormy clouds. But when the hurricane starts coming, the clouds outside of the Persia system get blown away, so you actually get a clear sky before a storm. That's the old calm before the storm. And then the first clouds of a hurricane, they're big, tall walls. Like it's almost a flat surface that heads towards you. You hear about the outer wall of the hurricane. It's literally a wall of cloud. It's just a big, tall wall. And when you see those pushing in, that's when you know the storm's coming, especially when they're coming off the Gulf. But the wind slowly picks up and then you see that cloud coming, you know it's coming. The storm's coming. And even the thunderstorms, like you'll have thunder walls and thunderheads. And so like a big thunderstorm, it's like a fluffy cloud, and then it'll have almost what looks like a big column and anvil coming off the top of it. That's a thunderhead. And that's when it's going to be a real bad storm. So I'm not doubting that there is such a thing as a snow cloud, and that those of you that have lived around snow for a long time recognize what a snow cloud looks like. But as I continue to try to ingratiate myself into the upstate area, I need you all to tell me what the hell is a snow cloud, because I want to be able to look outside and see one. And I don't like, if you told me these were snow cloud, Lonzo, I would have to be like, okay, I guess they are, because I don't know.
No, they're not fat and fluffy. They don't look like they're about to burst.
So I'm a snow cloud. Got it.
There's a joke there that I'm just going to skip.
Yeah, so I don't know. That being said, I got to tell you guys, Lonzo has grimaced and held on to his left knee multiple times throughout the show today.
It's not good. It's definitely not good. You might say that my anger in the last segment might be
caused by knee pain.
Could be part of it. Yeah,
it might be. It's absolutely snowing this weekend. Like I don't think it's going to be like 2 feet.
They usually don't put on apps and things 100%. Unless it's actually going to do something. You know, I mean, there have been reports that it's going to snow 12 to 19 inches. Some say 3 to 4 inches. We'll just have to wait and see. It's going to snow somewhere around here, probably.
It's absolutely snowing here. I'm calling the shot. Like I'm comfortable saying it now. I am not a meteorologist, nor did I stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night. But it's absolutely snowing here this weekend.
So if you were Rob Brown, which he is, and it snowed enough to go sledding, where's the best hill to go to around here to hit it with his Captain America shield? Is there a good hill, a public hill that you could go to where you don't have to worry about trespassing or anything?
Texter says, Rob a snow cloud, Rob maybe a snowflake.
See, I left it for the texters. I'm not creative, but I might not have been.
Texas says you got to try banana and peanut butter. No, I've had banana and peanut butter sandwiches.
It's very good.
The old Elvis Presley special. I've had banana and peanut butter. That's delicious together. I will make a banana, peanut butter, and chocolate shake. It's phenomenal. But banana, mayonnaise, and a hot dog was the question that we asked earlier in the show. Another texter says, I'm drinking every time Rob says he doesn't live in a Holiday Express. No, the phrase is, I didn't sleep in a Holiday Inn Express last night. But good luck with the alcohol poisoning.
You haven't said it too many times today.
I said it like 3 times
yeah,
today.
I mean, I don't drink, but I'm guessing if you're not
if you're a lightweight, I could probably take you out.
If you're not downing half the thing you're drinking every time he says it, you're probably okay. And it's been stretched. It's probably some water in between or something. You're all right.
You know what? Twitter trending topics is next. I cannot. End of sentence. I cannot. He's Lonzo. I'm Rob. We somehow are the Star Award-winning Rob Brown Show on ESPN Upstate.
For Hari's accounting firm, client growth is exponential. He needs quick, smart accountants at whiplash speed.
So why aren't these receivables matching up?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to Allstate, where your savings are always on the right track, and where we still love when those auto rates drop, because when they do, that's some really good energy. Love when the extra savings hit, don't you? Allstate, here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands at Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today. Allstate Insurance, other products and services subject to availability, terms and conditions.
It is time for Twitter Trending Topics, where I tell Rob what is trending on the internets, and he will tell us all what, why, where, when, and how. The first thing that's trending is, I thought it was a good recovery. I really did.
Solid effort.
Yeah. The first thing that's trending is Bart Scott.
It's the anniversary of, what did Bart Scott say? Can't wait. Can't wait.
No, he's trending because he said on TV or on his radio show, I don't know which, but he said that Josh Allen should take Viagra before the game because it would keep his blood flowing in the cold weather.
I mean, that is the number one way to warm up your hands. You know, shove them down the front of the pants. Works every time. I'm right. Don't trust me. Scientifically proven. That being said, Bart, I suspect that's not going to help performance quite in the way you think it's going to in that situation.
I mean, does he speak from experience? I mean, I don't know. I mean, did he partake when he was playing? Did he need that to stay warm?
I don't know, but I got to tell you, if you knew the middle linebacker across you was taking Viagra, you'd work extra hard to make sure he didn't tackle you.
They're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You would definitely want to stay away from that guy. It's also a way for the offensive line to go, hey, man, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's just say Bart Scott had a stiff pass defense, didn't he?
See, Rob, you can see the wheels turning, and he's like, what can was it? How far? It's too far. I don't know. All right, the next thing that's trending is Peacemaker.
Drops today on HBO Max. Now this is I'm confused. I thought this was a movie.
No, it's a series.
But it's an episodic TV series.
Yeah, and the first 3 episodes dropped today.
Nice. I'm watching it. I'm gonna watch it. There's like 4 things I'm trying to figure out the order of what I'm going to watch. I've still got to watch Boba Fett, which I have not even started yet. I've still got to watch, what's the other one we were talking about this morning?
Witcher.
I got to catch up on Witcher Season 2. I think Witcher Season 2 is going to go first. I really like Witcher. Boba Fett would go first. I have not heard a ton of good about Boba Fett, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if the trend continues the way it is, you won't. It's...
Yeah, I've not heard a lot of good about Boba Fett. I've heard that. I've heard people say they feel like it doesn't have a Star Wars feel to it. Like it just kind of feels like a show in space. It doesn't have like the Star Wars classic feel to it.
You know, like when Bollywood or some other country does a version of your favorite thing, like a Superman or something. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. It doesn't have the Star Wars feel. It just kind of feels like a space TV show somebody ripped off of Star Wars.
Well, Peacemaker is probably going to be very Tarantino-esque.
I'm here for it.
In language, so
I'm here for it.
I'm going to have to deal with that.
For it. All right, that's going to do it for the show. We hand it off to Offsides. Thanks for sticking it out with us, ladies and gentlemen. Friday's edition of the show going to be a great one. I hope you're here for it. I'm Rob. He's Lonzo. We are the Star Award-winning Rob Brown Show right here on ESPN Upstate. Later, brother.